Pro Teaches Noob.
Yeah.
And woohoo! 100 lessons. Who would have thought I'd make it this far?
I did.
I
So,
I
yeah.
thought you screwed up for the first episode, dude.
Yep.
I'm
So, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so many of them ready, but for this, we're going to be going over my favorite Elseworld. Period. My favorite DC Elseworld, and that is Superman, Batman, Generations. Where
Yep.
basically the most simplest, yep, Tavia's got his. It
That's a
asks the
great-
most
that's a
simplest
great
of
one.
questions. What if, from the moment Superman first arrived and Batman the year afterwards, what if the entire DC universe aged in real time?
Yep. But
Yeah,
it's kind of inspiring a story, but for DC.
Yeah, way before Life Story, this is what we've got. And hold on, let me just set everything up properly. Nope, that's not right. There we go. Oh, hold on. I'm going to try and rearrange it so I can have the camera people on the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me rearrange some people.
I am the beer pong champion.
All right. And
It's like
there
musical
we go.
chairs.
That's better.
Yep.
Okay.
So, wait, is that better? Yep, that'll do. That'll do. So, yeah. And now you're probably wondering, but wait a minute. This is Batman Captain America.
I was about to say.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because, one, I have my own copy of it too, but the reason why we're doing this is just because of the fact that it actually ties into everything at the end.
It does.
It really does. And it's an Elseworld too. It's one of two Elseworlds that crossovers that Batman and DC and Marvel done. But first, I just realized I didn't introduce everyone.
Rude.
Yeah.
Oh,
So hold on. Let me go right back.
Shame on you.
Yep. So we have going to my left, we have Eric.
What's up?
We have Alex.
Yo.
We have Ian. We have, making his first time on Pro Teachers Noob, Tavia.
Hello.
We have Hooded Justice.
What's going on, everybody?
Raymond.
Hello, everyone.
Tristan.
Hello.
And Ingrid.
Oh, she's got a kitty.
She's got trouble. She's brought
kitty.
trouble with her.
Yeah.
So
Another special
cute.
guest.
Yep. And yep. So
Kitty.
okay, I just realized I'm gonna keep it more which is the
I mean,
there we go. That's the only way I can do it.
All right.
But yeah. So let us get started. Now I know not everyone's gonna be able to see everything, so I'm gonna try and zoom in when I can. So let's start this lesson off, shall we?
Let's
Batman
do it.
and Captain America. By the way, the other Elseworld crossover was Batman and Daredevil. But why was that an Elseworld? Because it turns out in that universe, Harvey Dent and Matt Murdock went to law school together.
Really?
That's the only reason why.
how often do DC and Marvel collab like this?
Not in ages. This was back during the 90s when that was more frequent. They haven't, since JLA Avengers, they have not done it since.
I dare
Yeah.
anybody to convince Disney and Warner Brothers to do it now.
Yeah, and given James Gunn and how close he was to Kevin Feige, that might be a possibility.
I don't know. I don't know. saw a tweet earlier that said Kevin Feige may have created his worst enemy.
He's mine. He's mine.
Yep. Oh, by the way, but yeah, there's the fall cover. So you see Joker, Robin, Bucky, and Red Skull. But yeah, January 1945, as we're in Gotham City, and typical Joker driving around. Now, I know I'm noticing one for reading the dialogue. Not this time. This time, because we have so much to get through, I will only do it for certain dialogue.
Okay.
But yeah, we have Batman and Robin chasing after a man. Look at that old golden age Batmobile.
Oh
I
my
love
god.
it.
It's like the wing on top.
Yeah. Oh,
Who didn't know you were Batman?
ta-ta, bad chumps. See you in the funny papers.
I am not used to a bat car like that. I'm so used to either the Adam West Mobile or the one from the Keaton movies and the animated series.
Right. But yeah, but soon they find his car and, well, it blows up, so they get out of the way. Meanwhile, while they're leaping into the water, Captain America's leaping into action, helping out Sergeant Rock.
Woo!
Yep.
Captain
Oh, and look at that.
Oh my.
Look at that giant tank.
I want one.
Just
like
like
Logan
that,
Paul, all the good stuff.
Yeah, but the way Cap just take care of it, using his shield, plain and simple.
Kaboom!
Yep. And then they're told they got some stuff from Army intelligence. So they have to head back to the States because apparently someone in Gotham is working with the Red Skull.
Ooh, who could
Yep.
be?
Well, we'll get to that. But Geronimo! Well, actually, on his way back, they let into some action.
Nice.
Yep. And then Batman shows up to help. I've got you now. The Batman!
Yep.
And, yep, they work together.
They're already like acquainted then?
Yeah, this is a
Apparently
universe.
so, yeah.
The 90s, this was a time when they just coexisted.
Okay, that's weird to think about now.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
not like we're in different worlds.
Yeah, we had Spider-Man and Superman meet in the 70s.
Yeah, in fact, that was called Earth's dollar sign because of all the money they made.
Money.
That sounds all right.
Yeah, but look at that. Look at this. Look at the artwork here. Just look at Batman and Cap.
Back to
Nice.
Man.
Yep.
Hang on.
Beautiful.
Yep. But yeah, then they it turns out they had kidnapped Oppenheimer from the Manhattan Project. Or in this universe, the Gotham Project instead.
Oh, they have Oppenheimer in here. That's so cool.
Yep. But then they soon find people that were, well, Joker gassed.
Yeah.
So, but then they decide, they head on out there. And while Bucky's waiting, because this was back when Bucky was still a teenage kid, not the young adult that Brubaker retconned him into. Of course, he's not going to be in the meeting. But they're told he's sent to find Bruce Wayne. Why? Because he's been a major funder of project and got the Gotham Project, who might be the one involved who could have led to Oppenheimer's abduction. So we then soon see Steve is trying to get into the head of Bruce Wayne, trying to figure him out, and he feels like he's too good to be true. While Batman and Bruce Wayne and Dick are trying to figure out what Joker's plan is. But while they're doing that, Steve turned out snuck over there and he thinks he was he's working with the Joker. Uh-oh. So when he's at Wayne Tower, we see Steve sneak aboard, knock out the bellhop, go on up, and it leads into a fight between the two of them. But the best part is, while they're fighting, they soon realize, how did each other know these specific fighting styles? Until Bruce is the first one saying, all right, Captain, I don't think we need to pursue this any further. What? Oh, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Those fighting skills, plus the Wayne fortune, would go a long way towards making Batman. Welcome to Gotham. I can't think of a better ally against the Joker's latest scheme. Nor can I, Batman. I only hope the time I've wasted chasing the Bruce Wayne wild goose hasn't given your Harlequin friend the time he needs to finish whatever his plan might be. So that's a good way. Like, yes, they have a fight due to a misunderstanding. Doesn't last long, and they figure out each other's identities.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, so he's talking to someone who ends up being the Red Skull. But of course, the Joker doesn't know this yet. Oh, by the way, this was and the Red Skull's death dust. Basically, almost like his version of the Joker gas.
Right.
And then we see basically they're trying to get their hands on Fat Boy, the nuke. And everyone starts laughing. As it turns out, the Joker just walks in and they replace the men with his own goons. Meanwhile, they're still in Batman, Robin, Cap, and Bucky are trying to figure out what they're doing, and how to stop them. It's soon then decided to swap sidekicks. So we see Robin swoop in with Gordon, and then Cap swoops in behind him. I actually say this is a good idea, swapping the sidekicks.
Maybe. But I saw that ha 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 with Joker in the back. It reminded me of the Return of the Joker video game for a minute.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, we see Bucky in the Batmobile. Kind of cramped, isn't it?
A little. It looks like you're stuck in a race car.
I didn't notice the front with the mask with the cowl on the front.
Yep. That's the old-fashioned one. And
everybody had a car like that back then. Even Two-Face had like only half a car because of the Two-Face thing.
Right. But yeah, so then while Bucky and Batman are fighting, they find out about the Red Skull being involved. And so eventually do Robin and Cap. And they soon realize, wait, so Joker's working with the Red Skull. This can't be good. Well, he's about ready to kill off Bucky and Batman, taunting them and basically explaining how with the nuke, they'd be able to stop the war and everything in Germany's favor. And seemed to put out a bomb that you think took him out. And yeah, we're led to believe that while Robin and Cap are making their way over, they're again trying to stop them from Joker from taking off with the bomb. And the plane is supposed to drop it. And geez, I've never seen a plane like that one, boss. Further proof that our little friend has money to burn. I may have to relieve him of that little toy. It'll add weight to my blackmail threat if I have a delivery system. Oh dear, anyone remember when that was what pushed Harley too far and felt Joker was too far, and that's why she betrayed him? But soon, we get to the big moment that Tom Taylor definitely loves. Joker finding out that he's working with the Red Skull. You mean that's not just some crazy disguise? I've been working with a Nazi? But of course. Why are you so upset, Joker? From what I've read of your exploits, it seems obvious you'd make a superb Nazi. That mess must be cutting off the oxygen to your brain. I may be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic. Keep back, boys. This creep is mine. How unfortunate. Such a misplaced patriotism. And now you die.
So that's where that came from.
Yep.
Not
Yeah,
funny.
I didn't know about that.
Yep. My Joker venom. Why aren't you dead? Blast. The formula of my deaths of death and your venom are too much alike, and we are each immune to our own weapons. I must resort to less flamboyant methods. Knocking the Joker out?
It's no use. We're too evenly matched.
Wait, the Joker sitting around like, I mean, American colonel. I'm American, damn it.
Yep. But yeah, so they head up there.
Russians are the best.
Look at the bat plane.
Oh my god.
That reminds me of the Halberd.
That belongs to Batman.
Face on it.
Yep.
It's glorious.
Not the Batwing.
I have to be fair, I always prefer the Batwing to be shaped like the bat symbol and not like the car.
Yeah.
But Batman gets on board, they get in and it leads to another big fight. But Red Skull's ready to drop Fat Boy. But while Batman and Cap continue their fight, Joker got free and he's ready to drop it instead. And basically, anytime an American can't thwart a Nazi rat will be the day your pal Hitler wins Miss Congeniality. Schweinhut, is your madness so complete you cannot see this battle's already lost? You are nothing more than a criminal clown, Joker, while I was trained by the Fuhrer himself to be Germany's greatest warrior. I always buy him.
myself.
I always buy American myself. Now give up, Skull, and maybe I'll let Batman put you in a nice cozy cell for the rest of the war. Never. I will. Nine.
No, I went back to the Joker doing the Doctor Strange love. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Yep. And they gather and boom.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like that Nazi scum.
Yep. But yeah, they survive, and the dawn of a new age, Bucky, a wondrous and terrible new age. But at least we see the last of the Joker and the Red Skull. You don't really believe that, do you? No, Captain. I'm afraid I don't. Now we get into what ties this in to Batman: The Generations. Epilogue:
That's
The
a
North
great
Atlantic.
story.
20 years later. Looks like Joker Jr. has given us the slip this time. And this time, Bruce, I'm afraid you're right, Dick. But what is it, Bruce? And Bruce, sonar is picking up a weird cavitation in that ice flow dead ahead. It almost reads like something biological trapped in the ice. Could be a little surprise Joker Jr. left for us. Let's play along for a bit, but be ready for anything. It's a man, all right. Dick, according to these readings, he's still alive. He's more than that. Look, it can't be.
Captain America.
Yep, they found Captain America, and we see Dick Grayson is Batman, and we have Bruce Wayne Jr. as Robin.
Wait, what?
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait. Stop. When was Bruce Wayne? Oh, wait, this can't assume about Joey's done it.
Yeah, I said that's why I'm doing this first.
Ah.
Because it ties into it through this moment. And this is what encouraged Byrne to actually do Generations. All thanks to Roger Stern suggesting this epilogue.
Huh. I know about that. Interesting.
Yep. So what did you all think of that opening story?
Great story. Tons of fun.
Yeah, it was
cool.
I kind of want to.
But one at a time. Okay, one at a time. Okay, Ingrid, you were next.
That was a fun little vignette, and I guess it's just we've sort of reached a point where they're like so separate from each other that it's kind of interesting to see Marvel and DC doing stuff together back in the day.
Yep. Eric, you were next.
That's I kind of want to read it now, honestly.
Tristan, what did you think?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I remember the Tom Taylor thing about Joker and being a Nazi, so I'm glad to see where it came from.
Yep. Raymond.
Likewise, I think the highlight was the interaction between Joker and Red Skull. That was hilarious.
Yep. Hooded.
Yeah, it was cool. It was different, but it was cool. I liked it.
Ian.
This one doesn't quite do it for me, but I'm a hater, so.
Who else hasn't spoken?
Me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was just good old-fashioned fun. I enjoyed it.
Yep. And David, you've spoken quite a bit during this, so I can tell you enjoyed it. But let's dive into the main event now, shall we? Now, before we go any further, I just want to make it clear, if anyone says anything in the chat that anyone wants me to point out, let me know, because right now I'm focusing entirely on, I don't see the rest of the chat, I just see my screen, so.
I just saw something in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else read the article about what James Cameron said earlier today in the New York Times.
I didn't hear that.
No.
Let's not go into that.
I won't.
Yeah.
It's the anniversary of the Terminator, and I'm not going to badmouth the man today.
Oh, I did.
I'll badmouth him.
But yeah, the main.
I will send my own Terminator to you. Understood.
But yeah, for these first 4 issues, we'll be doing 10-year and jumps from 1939 all the way to 1999. I believe. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let us just continue on. In 1939, as and Bruce Wayne and what was his first love interest?
Forget.
Was it
Julie Madison, isn't it?
Julie Madison.
That was it.
Yeah, Julie Madison. They're heading into the Metropolis World's Fair. Now, I want to make this clear. We will eventually see a Mrs. Wayne, but Byrne always wanted it to be Cassie Kane, but she wouldn't have been around by that point, so he left it ambiguous. That way, if people wanted to be Selena, it could be Selena. If people wanted to be Cassie, it could be Cassie.
Yeah.
It just
So
make it
even,
ambiguous. Everyone's happy.
yeah, Catwoman never shows up in this at
Wait,
all.
that's odd. Why? Like she
Probably
yeah,
because of that. Probably because of the Mrs. Wayne stuff.
Oh,
That would have been. I mean, if he was, and the only time he could have fit it in would have been during this one, but he has enough on his plate in this part. But yeah, he lands, and I love it. Bruce is acting like the millionaire playboy. He's ready to just pay him off, saying like, "I'm sure we can deal with this matter without undue fuss. Put your wallet away, Wayne. You may be able to buy your way out of trouble in Gotham, but here in Metropolis." And then all of a sudden, a giant mech attack.
Yay!
But this the villain here, even though he's bald, it's not Lex. It's the Ultra Humanite.
Wait, what?
The Ultra Humanite was originally the bald mad scientist archvillain of Superman before Lex took over.
In fact, Lex became bald from a coloring error.
Oh, that's interesting.
Lex was always bald.
No, he actually had red hair when he was introduced.
Yeah, when did
Gene
Ultra
Hackman
Humanite
was-
become a white ape?
First he was actually a woman for a while.
Yeah,
What?
it's true.
Yeah, during the Golden Age, he was actually in the body of an actress, and then eventually he became the ape later on.
This guy's freaky.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his whole thing is about putting his brain into other things. But yeah, though, we didn't see this one guy who's a redhead named L, or Eel, who Ultra Humanite took out of the Smallville juvenile detention home. Yes, it's Lex, but he doesn't factor that much into this story. It's all the Ultra Humanite as Bruce and Julie run off, and then Superman shows up.
Golden Superman.
Golden Age Superman. Look at the artwork.
I know. I'm getting such pleasure from it.
I can
Yeah.
hear the music.
And I'm at the cartoon.
I can hear the music from the cartoon. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm looking at. That's
But yeah, he crushes the robot and then tosses it. Hey, what do you think you're doing? That robot was private property. And now, here's the other thing. Byrne, he's going to do, and he's actually going to keep inconsistencies consistent. For example, we see Superman in the Golden Age, he just leaps. But when we eventually get Superboy, he flies because Superboy flew, even though technically he shouldn't be flying.
Whoops.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that makes no sense to me. What?
But no, but again, Byrne is keeping the inconsistency consistent. But yeah, we then see Batman is trying to figure things out as we see Clark and Lois are doing their own investigative reporting. And oh, look at Batman there. Isn't that awesome?
Batman.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's so beautifully retro. I love it.
It is.
Very retro.
Yep. But yeah, so he then does a judo chop to back up Clark's neck. But then later, play it smooth as you like, Kent. But I'm going to keep an eye on you. You went down easily enough, but hitting your neck was like hitting a steel girder. Uh-oh.
You do realize judo doesn't have chops, right? It's a grappling.
I know. I'm saying that as a joke.
All right.
Judo
I blame Austin Powers. Judo chop.
But yeah, turns out because there's some traces of their work and of what they're tampering on board that robot, so they have to go and get it before it can be traced back to them. We also find out about the Flying Graysons are in town, and Bruce has been keeping an eye on young Dick Grayson.
I'm sure that show's gonna go smoothly.
Don't worry, they don't die in this.
They'll be fine.
But then while Julie is looking around, Bruce sneaks off and Lois falls behind. We see Eel backhands one of the other goons who dares insults him. And oh look, Lois can still kick some butt.
In the yeah. She was a big butt kind of.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Lois Lane, stop her. And Bruce shows up. They fight it out a bit. Bruce gets knocked out and Lois gets knocked out. But they get saved by young Dick Grayson, who just happened to be passing through.
Yep.
Never let it be said an acrobat can't fight.
Yep, and that was that. Batman just punches the guy like, now to get out of here before.
Uh-oh.
But,
You don't think you get away that easily from Batman?
yep. Have a nice nap. Now, let's chat. Wah! But yeah, he lets the guy fall, and Superman jumps up and catches him, saying he knew he would. And then they decide to figure out what's going on. And then we see Lois is still captured. They swing in Ultra Human. They deal with Ultra Humanite. He was planning this big a rocket ship. It goes off prematurely, explode. Superman throws the thing at it and explodes. And they think everyone is dead. They even find a red wig. L plus a red wig. Something Superman. Something from a long time ago, Batman. And something I'll probably never have an answer to now. But come on. We better go tell the officials what happened to their centerpiece. I think I'll let you do the talking, Superman. So how's that for the opening?
Great opening.
Well, that's
Pretty cool.
something.
Now let's jump 10 years later and get a reminder that a lot can happen in 10 years. We open up with the Joker just laughing his head off.
149.
Yeah, we're in for something when this begins with the Joker laughing.
And to think, this is the year we found Tim Curry voice vocals for the animated series.
Oh yeah, I can't believe that.
I know, that's so crazy.
You killed Captain Clown.
Yep.
Yo, Captain Clown.
But anyway, but turned out Lois is married and she's pregnant with Clark's kid. A lot can happen in 10 years.
Clearly.
But yeah, it turns out Joker has her abducted, and he's like, he basically says he knows that she's married to Superman. Why? Well, first Superman shows up, Joker shows some of the kryptonite, and he seems to get overly weakened. But then he gets up and grabs it. It turns out it's not him. It's Batman in disguise, and Lex and Luthor is working with Joker.
Of course. Woman has to place.
Yep. And then but then we find out that sometime earlier, and we're seeing like this is sometime earlier. Dick Grayson is about ready to go out to college, but he decides, nope, I'm gonna do one last go around as Robin. So I cancel the taxi so we can do it as a team together. We also find out that Jim Gordon has already retired as commissioner, and his son is named Tony Gordon. And see, in this world, Babs is Commissioner Gordon's granddaughter.
What?
Ooh.
Granddaughter?
Yeah, but that's just to explain any time differences.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, we then find out they figure things out, head on out, meet up with Superman, and they realize they got to get a plan together. So they think Batman's dead, and Joker is not happy about it at first.
He never
We also
is.
find out we get a reference to the whole he was in a Soviet slave camp, that on top of 6 months as a guest of the Third Reich. So referencing what had happened.
Oh yeah, it's Captain America and Batman.
Yeah. But then he had and Luthor had saved the Joker, and they're working together. Then you think Superman shows up, and he's saying, and Luthor's telling him, don't be using your powers or anything, otherwise your unborn offspring will come to no further harm if you step behind here and basically kill yourself.
And so we say enough game, Trooper.
Yep. So yeah, they're taunting and everything, and but then all of a sudden, and he said, "I won't use my powers." But then he uses his heat vision, and he says, "You're a liar." But I didn't, Luthor. But I did, the real one. It turns out they were in disguise. That was with a little bit of foolery. That was Robin who came down to Superman, and Superman, who didn't make the promise, used his heat vision.
Very clever, very clever.
And then Joker is ready to threaten Lois, but then Batman knocks him out. Now you're thought, wait, Batman's dead? Nope. Turns out first Luthor tries to get away with the Joker using the green kryptonite. They get out of there. things seem to blow up. They don't. Don't worry. They survive. But we find out that Superman had used heat vision on the bullet, plus used a little super breath to knock him down.
Con himself.
Yep, yeah. No. You don't have to read it. Sorry. But and then with a little bit of a old Tibetan method, stopped his heart. But then Lois asks, "Wait, because I'm having a Kryptonian child, shouldn't I still felt the kryptonite a little bit?"
Yeah, that's what I wonder. Because when John was born, that didn't happen.
Yeah, but turns out he was exposed to She was exposed to gold kryptonite before they got there. In other words, the kid is a normal kid.
Oh,
Damn it!
Yep. So now they have to decide what do we do, and they decide we
Or
gotta
she was
raise him.
cheating.
No.
No.
They have to keep
Let's
him
not
being
talk about
Superman.
Byrne's infidelity here.
No, they have to. They have to keep him and Clark being Superman a secret, so he doesn't feel jealous or upset.
Yeah, but that's not gonna go well.
Yeah.
My boy's heart.
Or I can take him under my
Yeah.
wing. He doesn't need superpowers to
But
fight
at the same
crime.
time, when they're heading back and wondering about his kids, we then see Mrs. Wayne coming up to Alfred, and she's holding a little knitting with little booties.
Aww.
Again, we never find out who she is.
I wish it was Catwoman. We would.
But yeah, we get a little bit of description of the C word and the H word, which are continuity and history. And basically, that is something that Byrne wanted to embrace while working on this.
I'm all for that.
We're now going to 1959 and 1969. And now by this point, Batman's starting to feel his age a bit. And he's saying, I'm definitely getting too old for this kind of thing. As we find out, well, just put it this way, the story is right in the peak of the Silver Age starting off.
I kind of figured out.
I kind of gathered that from him writing.
And we're going to be dealing with Mixie and Batmite.
Here we go. Everything's
Mixie!
Yep. And Superman got turned into the giant monster, giant Frankenstein monster. With a little help from Jimmy, he's able to help keep him distracted until the red kryptonite could wear off. We then find out that during the 10 years, Lois and Clark had a daughter. And she's like, Mommy, look. Not right now, honey. Mommy's watching the news report about Superman. And reveals she can float.
But what?
Yeah. And this is where, and then we find out that,
Lois' face is like, my daughter is off the ground. What the heck? Is going on?
Aww. Like father, like daughter.
Yep.
Oh,
but yeah, Batmite, he's making the whole city come to life.
I think about to brave in the Bald and the fact he was voiced by Pee Wee Herman.
Right, but we find out this group of aliens brought them on there so they can help them find a champion to help them deal with issues on their planet. Unfortunately, their planet is all the way on the other side of the universe. Meaning, even with Superman's his incredible speed, it would take him forever to get back to Earth. That's how far away they are.
Yep.
Of course, Mixie and Bat might argue which one of their heroes is the best.
Yep. We got caught.
We all know
Yep, so they're going to test the other's champion. And that's what they go through all this. Meanwhile, we find out that with Lois, she's trying to help their daughter and little Kara out. Yeah, her name's Kara. There's no Supergirl in this universe. I mean, at least that's the cousin of Superman. But there is the daughter. But yeah, it gives her a red sun, a little red sun necklace that basically makes her normal while wearing it. That's what Lois wore while she was pregnant with her son and with both kids. Yeah, but hold on.
Oh God!
Oh, there we go. We then see young Bruce Wayne Jr. is taken on as he's Robin currently, and Dick Grayson has shown up.
Anybody else hear background noise?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, whose side is that? Is that yours, Tavia?
Oh yeah, I forgot my Mary at
Oops.
the book club.
It's all right if you can keep your side on mute, and then you can
Yeah,
turn it
sorry
back
about
on when you want to talk.
that. Okay.
So anyway, but yeah, they're continuing doing their own thing. Scenes just keep escalating and escalating until then it looks like for a brief moment, Superman and Batman got killed off by both of them by their own antics. Until it was
What?
then decided the aliens decide you two are the greatest champion. We'll take you two away. And then Superman and Batman just faked it until everything was taken care of.
Genius.
Yep. Now we also
That's
find
funny.
out Lex approaches young Joel, their son.
Oh yeah, Joel Kent.
Yep.
Not John.
10 years later, then we see Nixon wants to try and help. It's arguing with them about revealing who their identities are, that all stuff, and they walk off. Not want to deal with it. During this point, Alfred has passed away, and Dick Grayson is now Batman.
Well, in the 1960s, right?
Yeah, 69, going right into the
1969,
70s.
right.
So
Before
this,
the 70s.
technically, this is going to deal. The other thing Byrne does throughout all this is that he matches the decades or the impending decade in which these years take place. So now we're getting into the 70s.
Oh
Which was
boy,
the
oh
Nixon
boy.
era. Yeah.
Oh, but yes, Bruce Wayne's talking to Alfred's ghost.
How? How you talking Albert's ghost? I need some
It's
context.
pre-crisis. This stuff happened all the time.
Comic book, though,
Oh,
right?
this is pre-crisis stuff, not
they're supposed to
post-crisis
do.
stuff.
Yeah,
And this,
but
and they're supposed to doing Alfred as Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's my machine.
Well,
right, but anyway, by this point, they're dealing with now obviously some point before this is when we've had them find Captain America. That's where that point took place. But we see Joker is in jail, and Batman and Robin are trying to find Joker Jr. And Joker's saying, "I had no time for offsprings, clearly." But because he's getting up in age. We also find out that Lois has gotten cancer from all of her smoking.
Wait, what?
Also,
Cancer?
yeah, Lois has been smoking a lot.
Relatable.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yep. Also, we find out Kara has a wig, which we find out how the wig works in the next
Relatable.
installment. But here, she wears the wig to cover her blonde hair, and yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do. Meanwhile, Joel, he's in Nam, and he is an angry guy, a bitter, angry guy who lashes out at everyone.
Of course. Well,
And he's one of those who feels like we should attack this town to try and find any proof of people that were hiding here. But his own men decide to turn on him, we later find out. Also, we find out that Bruce Wayne Jr. wants to take up or, dress up as Batman so they can try and be in two places at once. Now, we also find out that Dick has actually done a good job to make even the Joker think he's the original Batman.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But so he decides he's going to go on his own to this where he's found some clues. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne Jr. goes over there and finds out Joker faked it. Not only that though, but then there was a makeup kit among blueprints and everything. So he heads over there, but Dick Grayson, he falls into a trap, a simple trap door. But then razor blades come out. He slides right down the blades, spit out.
Ooh.
And then Joker Jr. is there taunting him, saying how it took him 10 years to work on this. Even though Batman points out Joker Jr. has only been around for 6 years. And it turns out those blades were also laced with hallucinogenic drugs. So now Dick is just tripping out, seeing all this illusion stuff. He then drops Dick into a vat of giant pies. He thinks the pie stuff is attacking him. But while he's swinging at it, guns are hidden in the other pies.
Oh no!
Bruce Wayne, and then Robin shows up, and he's too late.
No! Why?
Oh, damn. Dick got gunned down.
God
and then with the Joker Jr. reveals, he is the Joker the whole time, the one and only. And this was all of his master plan. But we find out Dick Bruce Wayne Jr. swaps costumes and claim, no, as usual, he's lying. He didn't kill Batman.
He
He
killed
killed
Robin.
Robin.
Oh,
Because he already says he can do the voice
Oh.
very well.
Damn. So wait. So it wasn't the Green Batman. It was Bruce Wayne Jr.
Yes, Bruce Wayne Jr. makes it so he can still keep Batman alive. So he claimed Robin died.
God, that's depressing.
Oh
That's a
boy!
dark ending.
Wait.
And
Wait.
to make matters worse, now now the stuff and Kara and Bruce Wayne Jr. have been starting to get close. That's important for later. But right when the Kents get back, they find out that Joel was apparently killed in action
What?
because of how he acted. His men chose to take him out and leave him for dead because of how far gone he had gotten.
Wow.
Well, this guy's depressing.
So
You just killed-
how was this? How was
Yeah.
Kid Issue?
Depressing, sad, and I see it coming.
Ladies, any of you care to speak up a bit more?
I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just it got a little dark here at the end.
It's
but
gonna get
that's-
worse.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
On the 8th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two things I take away from this. Number one, take one. Yes, that was a very sad twist at the end. Very sad.
We got more dark twists.
I know it is. We're about to get to the Dark Ages. And number two, thank God there were no machine guns on that. Machine guns whenever Nickelodeon did pies. What are we going to do? The pie pod, the pie coaster, or the pie watch? What's your pick?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Alex liked the pie coaster the most, he told me.
That's why I was making machine guns. Dodge these.
Twilight of the Gods, fitting name. As we find out that Kara is going to be marrying Bruce Wayne Jr.
Mrs. Ken, Mr. Wayne.
Yep. And now we also find out now Lois has been being helped by Dr. Hallroot. And of course, Clark. Now we find out Clark is putting on makeup to make himself look old to keep up the act. But yeah, Lois is doing very well despite the cancer. She's not cured, but she's doing very well, and she's so happy to see Kara and marry someone. We say then see he then heads. Superman flies off back to the Daily Planet, and he's still on as Clark Kent. He's the main editor of the planet. We then see Bruce Wayne Jr. and Kara as Supergirl fighting off against Brainiac.
Of course. Oh yeah, it's 1980 Brainiac from 1980.
Yep. And then now I love this one bit. Dad could have done this with one hand without even working up a sweat, but I only have half his power levels. Still, as Bruce said once upon a time, half of infinity and still infinity. That is something they make very clear. Even though they're going to be super powerful, they're not going to be anywhere close to Clark's power because of their genetics.
Which makes sense. John had a drug that well when he was born.
Yep, but yeah, also I know the ship collapses, causing a black hole, and I love this. Hang on, honey. Having you compress to subatomic size would really wreck our wedding plans. But yep, we then see Jimmy and Clark look out, and they see what was going on, and we find out Jimmy's retiring. He decides, like, I ain't been at this so long enough. Let's just settle down. I'll still do the occasional op-ed.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. And then we also find out Bruce has been climbing up his way towards, into where Ra's al Ghul is with Talia.
Oh,
damn!
Now look at Bruce. Doesn't he look like a Sean Connery?
Yeah, he looks like
Sean Connery.
I was gonna say,
I like
look
it.
like Old Man Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, he's gonna make. He has a proposition to make Bruce with the Lazarus Pit, but we won't find out till next issue what happens.
Issue 3, I presume.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no, issue 4.
Issue 4.
But yeah, we see Bruce Wayne Jr. with his mom, and once again, we still don't know who she is. But yeah, Kara shows up, and it's like, I thought you wanted to maintain tradition and not let me see you before the wedding. Yes, that did seem like a good idea for a while, but now I have a better idea. Fly up. Mrs. Wayne shows up, and
Oh
Oh,
my day!
Oh my.
That
oh
man.
my!
Uh-oh.
Oh
just like Mary. It's like those who say Mary Jane and Peter so did it on the ceiling.
But then we see
Well,
now we see what appears to be Lex with a wife who is Korean, named Melee. He then the armored one flies off. We then
My
see
father.
we see what?
Oh, nothing. I was kidding around.
But yeah, we see the wedding going on fine, but then the armored one shows up, blasts Clark with kryptonite, revealing his identity to everyone. Kara reveals her identity, and then the armored one sends her flying, and then a force field appears around Clark, Lois, and the Doctor. Dr. Hurlert or Lex Luthor.
Of course.
And he's been getting away. He's known Clark's been Superman for decades. And then he kills Lois.
oh boy.
What the
no!
hell?
He kept her alive just for this moment. But we're not done. Lex then teleports away. And then we find out the armor one was actually Joel. Somehow with superpowers. And the two of them fight. We find out what happened to him. Melee found him and nursed him back to health. Luthor found him. And Luthor, as far as Joel thinks, Luthor's been more of a father to him than Clark ever was. But you also find out he gave him superpowers. But Kara tries to say, but any method of giving powers, it's fatal to the user. Of course, Joel thinks another lie.
Yep.
And they fight it off, and then oh!
No!
He kills his own little sister.
Oh my
What the
goodness.
hell?
Oh my god, this one's bad
that
the worst.
hurts.
Monster! Look at
Yep.
that! Look,
But then when Joel makes it back to Luthor, he then and Luthor, just with a smile on his face, realized like, oh, the effects should wear off in about 5 hours, and the effects will take place within 5 hours. And then Joel's starting to die, and he basically reveals like a lie, the first of so many he told me. Well, no, not precisely. You see, my poor, foolish, gullible boy, your father has never lied to you, while I, on the other hand, have always lied to you. Joel! Joel? Alive? Not anymore. I said you would see your whole family die today, did I not? Monster owl! Oh, fiddle faddle, Superman. You can't imagine I would really be here in person. I'm miles away in a place you will not find so easily as you did this. After all, I wanted you to find this place.
Superman!
What a dick.
But then we find out Melee had a child with Joel. And but much like his genetic has gone over, but because it was from Joel, he doesn't have superpowers either.
Of course.
But then they decided to keep things, they're back in the same dilemma they did with Joel. But then it was then decided, remember, this is Bruce Wayne Jr. as Batman. He will take care of this little one and raise him like his son. And he and Melee actually get married. And in a way, Melee helps him out.
Wait. I thought Dick Grayson was Batman. Because remember,
No. Dick Grayson died. Bruce Wayne Jr. took over.
Because he can do the voice.
Yeah.
We forgot about that.
Yep. But then we jump to another 10 years. We then what appears that what looks like Superman has killed Lex Luthor.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
Yep. And we find out that Hal Jordan is the president. And because they think Superman killed someone, they're going to use the kryptonite ring. And Superman gave it to the president saying, if you can't trust the president of the United States, who can you trust? Wasn't it Nixon he gave the green K to? Yes, another small irony.
Oh my god.
But the ring's gone. We then see Bruce Wayne Jr., Batman, flying over to the Fortress of Solitude. Now look at that suit of his.
Batman Beyond.
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
But yeah, he's just devastating the entire place until he eventually finds Kara. It gives an opening for Superman to punch him. The two fight it off a bit. Bruce Wayne Jr. saying, "You're just holding back." But it turns out, no, he's giving his all. He lost his powers too.
How? How
Before
did
getting
that
to
happen?
that, we find out Superman just a few days prior finally found Luthor and talked to him. But then Luthor reveals, while you were busy looking for me, Jimmy, Lucy, their kid, their family, Perry's son, all the people that Clark's ever loved that were still alive are now dead.
What?
He's a
What the
bastard in this story.
Holy
What?
shit! He's trying
What?
to
And then Superman grabs him, lifts him up, but then he pulls his arm. Why? Pulls a muscle. Why? Well, even though Lex is at his nowhere near at his largest bulk, of his weight, he's still pretty heavy to do it one-handed. And it turns out on his cufflinks, he had gold kryptonite.
Of course. Woman has to.
But then we also find out something else. He keeps on talking about he wants to transfer my mind into your body and have your powers. Why? It's the Ultra Humanite. He's been Lex this whole time.
Dude,
Wait, the real Lex.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he was
John?
never Lex.
Done.
Since
What?
that first issue,
What?
it was after the end of that first 1939 segment. It's been the Ultra Humanite the entire time.
I don't believe it.
Oh my god! And I see no one coming. That would.
What's the truth?
Yep. But then to try and stop Luthor, Superman decides, throws this piece of debris nearby from when he pounded his way in, throws it, and kills him by mistake. It's an accident. But he turns himself in, and then they decide, you clearly acted in self-defense. Had I? He swore an oath. He's basically saying, I swore an oath against killing, but I still had hatred for Luthor in my heart. So, was it an accident, or was it my own action? So it was then decided he's going to be put in the Phantom Zone for 10 years.
What?
Oh, wow.
Because anywhere else, any other prison, he would be at the mercy of everyone he's put away in jail.
Oh boy!
So in a way, this was done.
Not Luthor.
No, but he still killed Luthor.
But did
Well,
he kill
killed his body.
Yes,
Luthor?
but Superman feels that's no excuse. I should not have killed.
Not
Ow.
this again.
So he's put in the Phantom Zone for 10 years. He's going to willing up to put it for 10 years, not forever.
Why does it remind me of the Alan Moore story?
It's meant to be a nod to that. This is 1989, so it's not that far off.
Yeah.
But let's get to the final issue of this first story with 1999, and we go back in time then to 1929.
Time travel story.
We then find out, welcome, Batman. I have waited a long time for this moment. But we find out, we show the Lazarus Pit. We then jump to a few decades prior. And it turns out we find a way to actually negate the madness being put in the Lazarus Pit and make someone truly immortal. If two people go in, one will come out and they will be completely immortal. And of course, Batman feels now Batman, of course, feels like, well, you think I should go in there and give you the chance? To which Raish says, it's a 50-50 chance. He doesn't know who will do it. So they both go into the Lazarus Pit, and sure enough, Raish is feeling the pain and everything, because this is going with a version where he's never gone in while still alive. Now, of course, Bruce feels like, oh, this is nothing. I've had worse. But then when Raish, before he can get out, Batman grabs the thing. You dealt his hand, and I intend to play it. Yep. But then, okay, Tavia, you don't need to read it.
Right.
Yeah, but then Talia. Talia!
Wait.
And we find out.
Nice.
What? I said Tavia. But yeah, we find out Bruce won the Battle of Wales, and he is truly immortal.
Ooh.
Yep, and we also find out throughout the past couple decades, he had been secretly changing Raish's entire enterprise, slowly making it change so that basically said you were looking for the demon's head, not realizing the body was changing shape. And basically every one of the criminals think that it's a front when really the front has become the whole operation.
Nice.
But why did he want his son to be here? So he can take over and Bruce can be Batman again.
Of course.
It
Loophole.
comes full circle.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we see Batman eventually stop a thug and then remembers about Superman. He decides, I'll let him off for good behavior a little bit early. And then Superman shows up. We then see Clark Wayne. And who is Nightwing with a K.
Yay!
But then I love it. You are a fine heir to the House of L. Clark, House of L. He doesn't know he's your grandson, remember? He thinks my son is his biological father. That deception is no longer necessary, Bruce. As they head over there, we find out that the entire fortress was, and Luthor's entire lair was covered up by a Green Lantern construct. And as you can see, a bunch of bad villains failed to get through. We see Kyle Rayner. He's the second Green Lantern after Alan Scott. Hal had not become Green Lantern at all yet.
Ooh.
Yet?
Wait until the next one.
Okay.
So it was Alan for decades and then Kyle. They make their way in and we find out twice Ultra Human I kept saying about having his Superman's body and powers, which means he had a cure for gold kryptonite. Sure enough, they find it, drinks it, he has his powers back, and then he decides to, he realizes what's little left of the cure, remakes it, and gives it to Clark Wayne so he can make his decision of having his powers.
Yay!
And sure enough, he does gain his powers, is taught how to use them, and Superman decides to head off into the galaxy. There's not much else left for him to do.
Yep.
So, yeah, he basically flies on out. We then jump to 2919 as Batman's flying around and through the galaxy until he eventually finds Superman, who's now finally showing his age more.
Wait, I bet 29.9.
2919.
Oh.
And then the two of them talk, and Superman brings up saying, remember our first meeting? Oh, yeah, in 1939. No, that was our second meeting. Back when he was and Clark was Superboy, and he looks like Peter Parker here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, we're introduced to Lois. But this is when he first met Lois.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Jameson. Mr. White.
Yep, I said we're introduced to Lois here, and look at her.
She looks hot.
She looks like one of those 40 swimsuit models.
Yep, now this would be her in her late teens.
Right.
Isn't that 20s fashion?
20s fashion.
This is 1929. This is 1929.
That is a
Right.
great
Yeah,
hat,
49,
man.
Goody.
That's a great hat.
But yeah, basically Clark and Lois are going through town, and then we have Lex Luthor is attacking them. Now this is giving us a chance to have Luthor back when he was still the villain.
Yeah,
So
cool,
he
yeah.
grabs Lois. They're fighting, but we also find out in this universe, Bruce Wayne was the first Robin, which is actually an old Silver Age idea.
Mhm.
What?
Wait, so Robin came before Batman?
Yes, Bruce Wayne was Robin first before he became Batman.
I'm not bad
What
idea.
the
That
hell?
idea sounds.
But yeah, they fight it off. Luthor gets away. Superman saves Lois with some help from Robin. And yeah, and then they figure out where this robot came from. They head over, find this scientist who claims Luthor worked with him, when in actuality it is Luthor. So he grabs Lois, flies off. He has some kryptonite. Robin stops him. They stop Lex together, and they're waiting for them to show up. Now I just realized, look how Lois is sitting there. She's wearing a skirt.
Boys.
It's probably a good thing Bruce and Clark are such decent guys. Otherwise,
Gentlemen.
oh yeah, but before I go, here's a little something to remember me by.
Yep.
But then we see Lana got some weird powers from the staff of Merlin as Superboy's flying after her. And then we then find out, turns out all of her fiddling with different powers and everything actually made Lana immortal and superpowered. And it turns out way in the future, Lana and Clark got together.
Of course.
Okay.
And we end this first one with, but hey, enough talk. We can all get caught up later. Like Bruce said, it's a big universe. There must be somewhere out there for the three of us can get into trouble. So, how was that first mini?
I liked it.
That was all over the place. It was cool.
was
but
so
all
much
over the
happened.
place.
Great.
Yep.
Very different.
I'm speechless. I got nothing. What? What the heck was that?
The match for
Ingrid,
sweet Taylor, that's
Tristan?
for sure.
Ingrid, Tristan, your thoughts?
I didn't take
That
shit
was
back to me.
wild, affectionate.
Tris?
Tristan.
She's gonna be right back still.
I'm back. I'm back. What I miss?
I was asking
Oh,
what
you
you
didn't
thought
play
about
the ending.
this whole mini, the first mini.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it.
But that ending
but yeah,
confused me.
but now let me just double check how many pages. Oh, on a sec. No, actually, it should be good still. But yeah, we're going to the next one. As this one we started in 1942, and we have 11-year increments. So this is going to fit in between the other chapters.
So,
As we open up in World War II, as Hawkman is leading the charge with the Black Hawks.
Yay!
Kind of fitting. Oh, and look, we got another mech.
Awesome.
Where did they get
Wow.
these robots? Tell me.
Where did you get any mechs?
I don't know, but yeah, they're facing him off. Alan Scott stopping him. We have the Spectre showing up,
He looks
Spectre!
awesome. He looks
and
great.
also the Ultra Humanite is working with the bad guys. Now the thing is, though, he's wearing a mask. Why? Because obviously he can't find out it's Lex anytime soon.
I know, but
Yeah.
he look the way his covering his face, he
not
looks
Lex.
like.
He looks like Cobra Commander.
I was
He
about to
looks
say
Cobra
that he
Commander
looks
with
like.
G.I. Joe.
He looked like Cobra retreat.
Cobra.
Right. But yeah, one of the pilots is crashing, and he's about to crash into a hospital, but he stopped himself from crashing.
Superman.
Yep, Superman flies in. Well, he's trying to do a bunch of other things. He's all over the place with the fight. Just look at Spectre knocking him down. This is Golden Age Spectre, back before he was more. Back when John Carrington. How do you John Corgan? Jim Corgan with Corgan was more in charge.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ultra Humanite has kryptonite, and before he takes off, he says, "But before I leave you to your fate, I want you to look deeply into the eyes of the one who's killing you. It can't be the Ultra Humanite." Yep. We see Wonder Woman is about ready to decide to enter the war. We see Lois meet up with Lex. Now, if you notice, no, never mind, different outfit. But yeah, we see Lex. He's putting up the X still that he's still Lex. He's a separate, it's not Ultra Humanite. Grabs Lois. Meanwhile, Alan Scott is trying to gather her up, going through all the remains and everything. Superman feel like he should have done more, especially when they lost one of the Blackhawks. But then we see Batman showing in the Batmobile chasing after them. Lex thinks he can handle it. Robin has been captured because he was the one driving it. He gets out, puts up a fight, kicks on some of the guys, but we find out one of them is actually Batman in disguise. They took to save Lois.
Nice.
Now, this leads to a bit I like here. I thought you had an army induction. I did, Lois. I flunked it. Failed the eye exam. Got a little too, it is him thinking it. Got a little too eager and read the eye chart in the next room with my X-ray vision.
He was too good for the qualifications, Mr. Kent.
Yep.
Really? Too bad. Or maybe not. Stumbling around like you usually do, you can make the whole war last twice as long. I'm sure you're right, Lois.
Dang, wink. I get that now.
11 years later, we see
the whole eye chart thing reminds me of Bugs Bunny reading the fine print at the bottom of the eye chart when he went to the army. This is the army?
Right. But we see Gordon. Okay. Sorry. We have Gordon show up, nearly half dead, to Wayne Manor. He reveals he's figured out long ago. And now this is also what he's going with the version where Gordon was an old dear friend of Thomas Wayne.
That makes sense.
So yeah, but he basically we find out this is where Batman started looking for the head of the demon. Was because Gordon was looking for him beforehand.
Oh, I see.
We also find out we see Wonder Girl's here. Turns out she's a facsimile, a projection, while Wonder Woman is pregnant with her and Steve and Steve's kid.
I've been saying a very long time that should happen in main continuity. Let one of them have a kid. It can work. You have John
Okay.
and David Wayne. Why have one of them have a kid?
What is with Hawkman's mask?
Yeah, it's
looks so
weird.
weird.
That's happening.
Gonna eat you, Batman.
Yeah, but we find out Superman, meanwhile, is far off in a place where there's a red sun, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, he's stuck there without his power, people out. But he's also trying to figure out a way to get word to a Green Lantern to help him. We also find out Lois is in labor with Kara.
Can I just say that Hawkman looks like something out of the Super Friends if it was made by Birdman?
Right. Meanwhile, we then see Bruce is still trying to figure out his head of the demon, and he doesn't. And he basically feels like Gordon is not crazy. So there might be something to this. This is why he decides he's going to start investigating. Superman eventually sends out word and SOS and gets Abin Sur's attention.
Nice.
Wait, no, Hal Jordan?
No, again, Hal Jordan does not become Green Lantern for a long time. As of right now, there's only one Green Lantern ring on Earth, and it will only be one on Earth, and that's Alan Scott.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Abin Sur helps him out. We find out that Steve had ejected, and Wonder Girl's trying to fly in to find him. But unfortunately, she's too late.
Oh no.
Yep. Yep. We then see Superman takes Abin Sur to meet Alan Scott. And meanwhile, with Wonder Woman, the baby's getting closer. Etta, being it's just so weird seeing little goofball Etta, isn't it?
Yep, I'd miss her in Wonder Woman comics.
But she's still around. But yeah, we also find out Lois is delivering, and then we find out it's a girl. Abin Sur then explains everything, and again, in this universe, there's only the one Green Lantern ring that's going to be on Earth, and it stays that way. We don't get multiple lanterns. Yep, Clark shows up, sees little Kara and everything. Diana, unfortunately, just feels devastated losing Steve while her daughter is born.
Yeah.
Their daughter is born. They decide to do whatever they can to help Wonder Woman out with raising little. I forgot what you name her. We'll get to it.
Young Diana.
Yep, but we then see this is where we actually get a little bit of with Mrs. Wayne, but because she's wearing makeup, we know who she is still.
Oh, come on, Tom.
But she is against Bruce Wayne Jr. being Robin.
Why?
Oh, by the way, Bruce Wayne Jr.'s nickname BJ.
Oh no,
Bruce Jr.
I'm this close to doing
Different
good.
time.
BJ.
But whereas Mrs. Wayne is totally against BJ being Robin, Kara's parents are all for her being Supergirl. Of course, Joel isn't happy about it.
Of course.
As he uses a machine that transports them to talk with Lex, who again, remember, we know how this is going to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, and badly.
Now, we then see Kara show up to BJ and basically saying, why the wig? For a disguise, like your mask or Dad's glasses. He made it so it's electrostatically bonded to her bioelectric aura. Now, if you noticed, back in the last part, when Kara died, her wig fell off. Well, it turns out it will come off if I push my gloves up underneath it. But otherwise, the only way it comes off is if I'm dead. Don't even think it, Kara. But he said,
foreshadowing.
But he says, she's forbade me from teaming up with Uncle Dick. BJ, did she by any chance forbid you to team up with me?
Nope.
We didn't see Dick going up and meets up with Batgirl.
Barbara. Batgirl. Yeah.
Yep. Nice one, Bat Chick. But you better have more than that going for you. You're right. And I do. Tackled and tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.
I know what they did. They banged.
You know, I could get grounded for life for this. Only if we get caught. And then we also have Wally West meeting up. Basically, throughout all this, it's what ends up being the Teen Titans. But instead, we're actually seeing they form the Justice League.
What?
Hey, Wally. I love Wally.
They deal with
No
Wizard
way.
Wizard and Gorilla Grodd.
It's always with
Yep.
gorillas.
And Captain Cole.
Yep.
I think.
Oh, sure enough.
Eh,
Why else would you be getting out of the shower?
Because it's
But yeah, the two of them work
because it's
together
sweaty in that
quite
suit.
well.
Never mind.
I'm
Sorry.
sure.
I was
Wait,
saying.
did
They
Captain
seem
Marvel-
quite happy.
I was gonna say it's sweaty in that
Wait,
suit.
Robin,
Don't say
question.
it,
Is
Charles,
Captain
but
Marvel
yeah,
doing-
we know the
doing-
real
doing-
reason.
Wait. Captain Marvel's not going to be in this, unfortunately. He's nowhere in this book.
No Captain Marvel. Aw,
Nope.
I want a Marvel.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe, and her name's Sissy is her name.
Sissy. Okay.
Yeah. And turns out she decides to be Wonder Girl to fly off. Now, of course, Diana doesn't want her taking part in anything as well.
Why?
Now, here's the deal. She cannot fly, but she uses the sandals of Hermes to fly.
So, Cassie, can I say my Wonder Girl?
Yeah. But which Byrne created Cassie.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait. He created Cassandra?
Yeah, Cassandra, Wonder Girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're arguing what to do. We have Mirror Master, Gorilla Grodd, and Weather Wizard. But then all of a sudden, Supergirl breaks out. Wonder Girl shows up. They all fight them all off, take them all down. And yeah, they're a great team. Again, Proto Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Teen Titans, go!
But I love this. What a good idea. We could be the Junior Justice Society. Eck. Society always sounded to me like a bunch of old ladies having tea. But instead, they decided to call themselves
Get 'em.
the Justice League of America.
Yep.
Of America.
Oh.
America.
Now, we jump ahead a bit more. Now, by this point, Dick is dead. And Bruce
Oh,
Wayne
yeah.
Jr. is Batman.
That is not a
Ha,
image
ha,
I
ha,
want
ha,
to
ha,
see,
ha, ha.
even if it's
Yeah.
hard.
But yeah, it turns out, something is harassing and just driving the Joker even more and more nuts. Now we see Hal Jordan here, and there's and Carol as well. Carol Ferris. They're basically working on this space plane, and things seem to go wrong at first. We also see
Uh-oh.
Barbara and Bruce visiting Gordon, and look how old he is.
Johnny's old. Yeah,
You
really.
were 6 years older than my father. Maybe you got the years he lost. That's something Tom would have arranged if he knew a way, Bruce. Because of how old he is. He's almost 100.
He
Yeah.
looks like
Dang.
he looks like he needs to be in a room with George Burns and the two old guys from the Muppets. That's depressing. We're older than that joke.
Yep, but yeah. But they find out something is just, again, haunting the Joker. They don't know what it is. And they're trying to figure out what. But for a woman, like, get away from me, Batman. I killed you. So they go to Dr. Occult and ask him for some help. And they bring in Deadman to help out with this.
Dead man.
That man.
Yeah, the guy who possesses people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Even shows off what he can do by making a guy do a somersault.
He's done.
But yeah, he goes in and finds out that Joker's being haunted by Dick Grayson Batman.
Oh, the demon. God,
No, that's
Like
Dick.
the actual ghost of Dick?
Yes, Dick is so full of hatred he wants the Joker to suffer.
Gee,
I don't blame him. I'm on his side. I'm going to kill him. Oh.
Yep. Now we see Hal and Carol are still together, and he's ready to give up being a pilot and go into politics, which leads to him being president eventually.
Yep.
Now eventually, Deadman stops Batman for the time being, jumps into Kara so they can explain what's going on, and they realize, yeah, Dick is the one trying to get revenge. So what do? They go to Alfred,
Yeah, Alfred.
and then what happens? Alfred approaches Dick and says, "Were you trained to be a killer, Master Dick?" Alfred, "Yes, Master Dick. I've come to take you home." He finally calms Dick down, and they both move on. Which means Alfred no longer visits Bruce anymore.
Oh.
Aww. That's
Now we
sweet.
see this moment then where Bruce dresses up as Batman to go to Joker. "You came, but I knew you would. I knew. You couldn't let me die alone after all the fun we had together. Fun? After all of these years, you still don't get it, do you, Joker? You're a murderer, Joker, and the last man you killed was a son to me. Does any of that matter now, Batman? I'm dying, and all I want from you at the end is one small favor. A favor?
What?
No Joker
Yes,
favors.
a peek under the mask of yours, a confirmation of what I've always suspected. Something that will allow an old man to die happy. That's all it will take. You've come to the wrong place if you're looking for serenity. You're the last man on Earth I'd ever want to see die happy.
And then he dies.
Yep. And now we go to 1986. We're going down to book 3. As we see, this is while Batman and Superman is still hunting Luthor. So he thinks he seems to have found him, but he just wants to taunt him more, re-showing him what happened to his kids. And it's a hologram as he disappears, leaving Superman again ever tortured.
Damn.
Yep.
We didn't find
dark story.
What?
Are we playing the same story? If you're going to repeat.
No, it's filling in the gaps. This is in between stuff. So this is showing more of what Superman did during those times before he found Luthor. Now we have
the Batmobile I recognize.
Yep. We see Bruce Wayne Jr. is heading on out. Now, of course, young Clark wants to join him, but he doesn't want to. We then see now that Wonder Woman's daughter is now taken over. And Alan is still working. See, Alan is still Green Lantern. He's using the ring to still keep him
young.
Yeah, keep himself young.
Question,
and we also have a Carrie Flash.
Carrie?
Wait.
She's the granddaughter of the original of Barry Allen.
Not Wally.
Oh, sorry, and I take it back. Her name's not Sissy, it's Stevie. Asked her Steve.
That's a weird name for your daughter.
Yeah, but yeah, so trying to figure out what to do about Batman because he has left and he has become more and more darker and edgier.
Question: what happened to Wally? What happened to Wally?
Wally's retired. No, Wally was the one that decided let's form the Justice League of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but
he's retired now. 2 decades have passed.
Oh yeah.
You gotta remember, decades are passing between these.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they head on out there. We see Batman. BJ Batman is dealing with a bunch of thugs, just showing how aggressive he's gotten. Townsfolk are, of course, trying to stick up for him. But then we see him dealing with Carrie, who thought she could handle him. Nope. Gets knocked out.
Nope.
Now we find out this is a new villain named the Hyena. She's taken on so many of Batman's other rogues as her own.
Can I say something in the
She looks like Cheetah, yeah.
She does look like Cheetah, but can I say
look at this. Goon, henchman.
Goon, henchman.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
That's just like, it's the 60s Batman, but just not even giving clever names, number one. Number two, Rob, you said if I could point out something in the chat.
Yeah.
Did Rob, 007 Angelo says, did Robert just say Dick died happy? Is he reading a Penthouse story? Your best, right now Tristan is talking about a lot of Rule 34. It's like what rules.
Of course he is.
Thank you for entertaining everyone.
I get distracted easily. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, we see Hyena is it's too much, is no match for Batman. We then see Alan Scott shows up. Now, he still has the weakness to wood. Even though we make it clear this ring is a Green Lantern Corps ring, we will get an explanation for that later.
I was about to say wood shouldn't take unless the wood is
Alan's weakness was always wood.
Unless the wood is painted yellow.
No. Alan's was always wood.
I know Alan's is always wood. You said it's an actual Green Lantern ring.
But we'll get to that. There is an explanation. But what does he do? He turns out the wood is made of the floor is made of wood. So he uses this device that not only gathers it up but then shoots it at him, disabling his powers. Stevie shows up, and it leads to him fighting. Now he also does the whole you're only half an Amazon, but your gods have bound you to the same rules, and that means you lose your powers when your bracelets are chained together by a man. But she's still a good fighter. Put up a good fight. she's trying to talk sense into him, but he's just so far gone with his hatred, his anger for what happened to Kara. And but then Alan tries to stop, saying enough. He just goes to town on Alan, pounding him hard. But when Perry calls him out, he then jumps out the window.
Phrasing, Robert.
What?
Yeah, like you're killing him.
I'm sorry. Nothing.
This stream's getting hot. Whew. Someone turn it down, please.
But yeah, he jumps out. He then, but then makes his way back to Melee, and he's like, "Help me! I don't know what I mean anymore." The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Amen.
Now we go to 1997. This is where things start to look a bit more like the anime series, a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah,
we see the Batmobile. We see Clark is Robin, but then he's like, "You ready to take over the role? I can't. But you've been preparing for this moment. For the moment, but not the part. This is where he becomes Nightwing."
Yay!
Makes sense.
Yep. Now, also, it's also when he finds out that he's not Bruce and BJ's biological son, but he says, "You've been all the father I could have ever wished for." Aww.
Now that's
now
sweet.
Alan has since given the ring up to Kyle, and Hal is no longer president. Babs is.
Wait,
Barbara?
Bad become president.
okay. Well, if we ever have a woman president, I want Barbara Gordon to be it.
Yep. Now he was going to offer the ring to Hal, but Hal refused because he became president. Hence why Kyle got it. Now we see Kyle and Carrie have kind of gotten close together, but they're attacked by, and they work with Black Hawk, but then they're attacked by Sinestro.
Of course. Wait, where's John Stewart?
John Stewart's not going to appear in this until the last issue of 12, and even then, that's technically not John Stewart.
Oh, it's not?
Now here's something else I should point out. We saw Alan deal with the wood weakness, but now with Kyle, who actually got proper Green Lantern Corps training, he has the yellow weakness. Again, we'll get to that. It's the same ring.
I'm waiting.
Same ring.
Yep. Now, if you notice, Nightwing is also a little bit of Batman Beyond, too.
He Batman with the flying car.
Yep. He flies out to deal with someone.
The period.
If Batman is 1997 post-punk, it reminds me of Escape from New York.
Yeah, but yeah, he's dealing with Ransack, an original villain.
Oh.
Ransack, like ransack. You're ransacking a place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's attacking. Meanwhile, they're trying to fight, and the other are trying to deal with Sinestro, but he's too strong. Again, it's showing how good and Clark was without powers. He was still awesome.
He kick ass.
Now we see Superman's in the fan zone dealing with Zod and the others. They're taunting him while he's watching in the real world.
Of course.
Now it looks like Clark is starting to lose badly, but before you can get a hit in, Superman appears from the Phantom Zone for a quick second to distract Ransack, who's actually the daughter of the original. Now she sees him. Clark, young Clark, and Nightwing can't, but that leaves the opening for him to zap her and put her in the prison. Now we see Kyle is trashed. He makes his way back to and tries to find where Alan is. Crashes there. Sinestro attacks and kills Alan.
No.
No more death.
But then we find out and then he takes but then Hal takes the ring as he was meant to, and actually uses it to fight Sinestro. And during this, he then soon realizes the rules. Alan thought it was wood. And Kyle thought the same ring was weak against yellow. Maybe there is no weakness. Maybe it all depends on how my will and powerful my will is. And he uses it to kill Sinestro. And this is what we find out. The yellow weakness is Bupkis. It's a mental condition.
That makes sense.
It was to prevent them from being the rings from being used improperly. Now, what happened with Alan Scott? Well, he was hit by a wooden stick long ago when he first got the ring, so he thought it was because of wood that went through it. So in a way, he created the yellow impurity without intending it.
Oops.
Now, as far as how Superman was able to appear when no one else could, he's figured out stuff that he just says, I figured out stuff that you never could because you never tried.
Yep. So
Yeah, because he's Superman.
You're not.
Yep.
You're
Now
not.
2008.
Remember, remember, of all of his powers, super intelligence is one of them.
Yep.
Yep.
Now we're in 2008 as we
The
see
ancient evil.
a brain in a jar is attacking. Now this is Metallo. Or is it?
I'm not
Or
bad.
is it? He comes out. Now by this point, Clark has left.
Of course.
All right. And but yeah, he comes out, he's Metallo stomping around. We now see another flash. We gone through a bunch of flashes.
It's white, right? Or white.
There's a double meaning there.
Wait, actually his name is hold on.
Meaning you and technology.
I'm trying to find there's Barry. Oh come on.
Jay.
Jay. Yeah, Jay.
Every time.
So yeah, so he heads on out there. We also find out that Clark got together with Ransack. Turned out she reformed.
Of course.
And they got together and they want to get married.
Aww.
I love this. Still, it's going to make a strange story to tell our grandchildren. I think you're skipping a couple of steps there. Now, we find out also Mrs. Wayne. Right. Now, we find out Mrs. Wayne is dying. Clark meets, and Bruce meets up with her. And she's even saying, like, you hardly look a day older than you did on our wedding day. BJ shows up as well, and she basically is going to tell him a secret that doesn't get resolved until the next mini.
Don't.
God damn it.
But yeah, the point attacking Metallo is smashing around. We see Clark fighting him off. Nightwing, of course, he's weak to kryptonite.
Yep.
Flash shows up. He's the fifth Flash, I should point out.
How many Flashes are we getting in this series?
Well, again, it's how many decades have passed.
Good point. We had Bill. What was it? Jay Garrick. Then we had Bill.
Yeah, this is Jay West.
Out. So there's one kid.
Oh yeah, Blackheart's there. Look, Cyborg.
Cyborg. Oh
yeah. Show up. Yay.
And but he gets trashed by Metallo, and then Great Hal shows up as Green Lantern.
About time.
And turns out it's Lex Luthor. It's his brain.
It's not with the Human Egg. Not this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, of course then Nightwing and Ransack, they get married. Hal is the ring bearer.
Yeah.
Guess that's an appropriate job if there ever was one. Now, this is where we get to my favorite installment, and that's one of the big reasons why this is my favorite mini, or my favorite Elseworlds. Batman and Nightwing and Batman show up. Turns out there's been some alert going off in the fortress. Superman even comes back from space to visit, and when they do, they got a message from the old time viewer that Superboy used to use. This is allowing them to look back on Krypton. Turns out it was a pre-recorded message from Jonathan Kent, and turns out long ago, Clark always knew he was going to become Superman and team up with Batman. But then the sad stories, of course, Bruce's parents being gunned down. Now, I should point out, and John Byrne both has acknowledged this, and in the story acknowledges it. Either both were gunned down, or Thomas was gunned down, and Martha died because of her weak heart.
Oh.
So wait. So either kid could be rectified, I think. Wait. So okay, I need to comment. So Thomas Wayne gets shot. Then
and either both got shot, or Thomas got shot, and Martha's bad heart. It was too much for her bad heart.
I guess that makes sense because
both versions have existed. Both versions have been used.
True, because in New 52 Earth 2, we had the same thing happen. Thomas Wayne did get shot, and he survived. But
on Earth 2, yeah, but on the New 52 Earth 2. But anyway, we then find out that now this is in this is like 1919.
1999. Yeah.
No. This is 1919.
Oh, 1919. Yeah, before World War I. My bad.
Yeah, but this is when last time we saw it was 1929, so we're now 10 years before that.
Yeah, he's Superboy.
Now this is them dealing with the Ultra Humanite back when he still had some hair
Of course.
and he could walk.
Of course.
So yeah, Superboy, and we see young Bruce Wayne there with his parents. Basically, we have a whole big stuff going on with the Ultra Humanite, wanting to abduct the Waynes. Superboy puts up a good fight, but he's having a tough time. We see Bruce getting abducted, but he gets out, finds a costume box, and oh boy, look at that! He actually Ultra Humanite zaps Bruce Wayne and Superboy.
Skeleton.
Look at this. Bruce puts on a costume as the Flying Fox, which is a type of bat.
Nice.
I get it.
That is genius. But yeah, Jonathan shows up with his shotgun, shoots the Ultra Humanite's device, and that's what makes him be lose feeling in his legs.
Yeah.
Paraplegic is what you were trying to say.
And then now Jonathan eventually by this point, Superboy, they were coming here to warn the Waynes, to tell the Waynes, to try and change history. But things got in the way and they thought they failed. But it turns out Jonathan brought Thomas back over to. Now remember this. In this case, Smallville is not in Kansas.
No.
Not
pre-crisis. No, pre-crisis. Smallville was not that far off from Metropolis.
That's right.
Oh yeah, pre-crisis.
So that's why they were in Metropolis. They could drive over there pretty quickly. But yeah, so basically in less than 2 months, the Waynes are going to die. He shows them it, and Jonathan showed him it, and even says things don't. The future isn't set. We don't know it. Show me that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he remembers when he wore a costume beforehand. Like if all of this is true, I have no reason to doubt it. Bruce Wayne will become Batman because of what happens in 57 days. If I now take steps to avoid that event, there will be no Batman. No, this can't be going where I think. Basically, this is where and Jonathan finds out the Waynes had died. He's like, I warned him. What happened? Are you ready, darling? Yes. You're certain this is the night, Thomas? Yes. Just a few hours from now. Then let's not talk about it anymore. We've made up our minds. What must be, must be. For the good of the city, darling. Perhaps the whole world. Come along, Father. We're going to be late. And we wouldn't want that, would we? Knowing how much you love Douglas Fairbanks. But there's something your mother and I want to say, son. We might not have the chance later. What is it, Father? That we love you, Bruce. Sometimes with all of our business and charities and things keeping us busy, we might not have said that as often as we should. But it's true. We love you very, very much. And you must never forget that, son, no matter what might happen. Now, go and tell Alfred to bring the car around. Yes, Father. This is the right thing to do, isn't it, Thomas? It seems almost sinful to walk knowingly to one's death, to leave Bruce alone. He won't be alone. I've told Alfred to take care of our son. And now there's something I need to say to you, my darling. Something I've always also been lax about saying with all my other concerns. You don't need to, Thomas. You might not say the words, but your actions say it for you every day. And I love you too, with all my heart. They went knowing they were going to die.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's depressing.
Damn.
Wow.
This is what won me over.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something
heartbreaking.
else.
Wow.
That's an interesting take.
I'm
Yeah,
speechless.
because
I am officially speechless.
Yeah. Now that's the end of that mini. Now we go into the final 12 issues, and this is going to be a breeze. But here, in this case, we jump centuries.
How many
We're not
centuries?
We're not
500.
even
So we jump every issue except for one is going to be jumping a century forward. So we're in the 20th century first. So this is back when it's still Superboy. And we open up right away with Saturn Girl banged up.
Saturn Girl. I love Saturn
Girl.
Yep. She is battered. She is trashed.
Don't you
And
mean
then when
John
Superman
Kent's
finds up.
true love?
What?
Don't you mean John Kent's true love?
Ah!
Very funny.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Better than the current one.
But yeah,
let's not get into
anyway.
I hear, all right, who's laughing?
Superman flies off and finds what seems to be a handful of parademons. Now, by this point, because again we're dealing with the continuity stuff, for just this one appearance and only appearance, we see Jarvis Pennyworth, the original butler before Alfred.
Wait,
Oh wow.
I thought Jarvis Iron Man butler.
No. In the original Golden Age, we had Jarvis for a short while. Now he wasn't Pennyworth; he was just Jarvis. But then they decided. So here, Byrne is having him be Alfred's father.
Oh, Alfred's father. That makes sense.
Yep. Now, of course, that's Lana there. They're trying to push her out, but she feels like something's going on here.
Yeah.
We see Bruce. What?
The Red Baron.
No, that's Bruce. That's Bruce.
Something else to point out in the chat. Nobody can figure out when World War I started. Does anybody know the year? I'm thinking it's 19. I'm with the people who say it's 1914.
Yeah, I think it was 1914.
Yeah.
It was 1931.
Yep. But anyway, Superboy is attacking these parademons who seem to know a lot more about what's going on.
This one's the dark side, doesn't it?
Later.
Patience.
But yeah, they're putting up. But then we see Lois had snuck aboard. Wanted to know what the military was up to. Now she regrets it. But yeah, he's working with General Lane.
Of course.
Lois's dad. And meanwhile, now we find out that Sandgirl is dying. She is dying from her wounds in the future.
Oh no.
Yep. We see Bruce is flying in, trying to figure out what's going on. We see Lois and Lana meet up. She's trying to say, like, hey, who are you? You're not from Smallville. Tell me how that's any of your business, Carrot Top. First, tell me who you are and what you're doing strolling into a military zone. Oh, and who died and made you the queen of... Boom! They bumped into Saturn Girl's time bubble.
Oh.
They both get on there, and Lois is trying to figure out what it is. And she even says, like, the Army has nothing this advanced. And how would you know about that, small fry? Because I've been in the Army all my life, Red.
Nice.
Yep. Now, of course, the machine's going to transport when Saturn Girl dies. It's going to go on automatic, so no one else can get their hands on it. We then see the Army is fighting up against the parademons with Superboy's help. Bruce is there trying to help out. He has not become Batman, Robin yet. Bruce grabs the device the parademons are using, throw it to Superboy, destroys it, and was it destroyed? Because that's a device they've been using to jump through time. But was it destroyed? They're stuck there and wiped out by the U.S. military. Saturn Girl then dies, but beforehand, she wipes everyone within a few miles radius, their memories of what happened.
Dang.
As far as they know, they don't think it was an alien invasion. They just think it was a skirmish or something. But when it shows up, like, I have this weird feeling something has just slipped my mind. I sure hope it wasn't something important. I shows to point out that Lois and Lana have been transported away.
Oh boy.
Yep. Now we go into the 21st century now. So this is well after everything from the last mini. By this point, Clark and Amanda, that was Ransack, have twin girls, Lois and Laura. And they're Supergirl Red and Supergirl Blue.
Oh no, not the red and blue again.
Yep. We also find out that Amanda has been working in Arkham to try and help rehabilitate people, especially Lex. But Lex got away.
Again.
He has a
He always
spider
gets
bot.
away.
Yep. He has a spider bot robot. We see Bruce and Clark meet up again as they've been having this weird premonition about something going on in Smallville all those years ago. And they're trying to figure out what it was. And they, meanwhile, we're seeing Lex has teamed up with the Parademons. Now, and in the last issue, the Parademons said they worked was Lex. So for them, while we're moving forward, they're moving back.
What?
And this is a much larger group of Parademons than last time. Meanwhile, we see Superman feels like he finds the Parademons, their body's been buried. So he decides he's going to head to New Genesis to visit them. We see on New Genesis, they're getting a warning. Superman decides to let them know where he's heading and to keep an eye, to open a portal to Apocalypse, which Hal says no problem. We also see OMAC is attacking Lex. Big fight happens. It starts. They're trying to figure out what to do about Lex. Although Luthor wants to stop being called that, he just wants to be called Metallo.
Oh, Metallo, of course.
Yep.
Wait, what I missed?
But yeah, so he starts attacking them all. The kryptonite's weakening them. At the same time, Superman heads over to New Genesis. We see Luthor stops OMAC by returning him back to Buddy Blank.
Oh yeah, OMAC. I know him. He's from the Silver Age. Yeah,
yep.
He had to in Bendis region. In the the region.
But anyway, we see that Superman shows up on New Genesis just as Apocalypse shows up. Now, by this point, they believe Darkseid has already been dead and defeated by Orion.
Here we go.
But then all of a sudden, something happens that's going to keep them, New Genesis, stuck, and Superman stuck there with them.
Oh no!
Yep. We see Clark show up and everything. Things seem to be going to hell, and then finally Luthor sets off an EE.
A big one,
of course.
A big one. As we now go to 100 years have passed since then.
100 years.
Yeah. Now remember, Bruce is immortal, and Kryptonians are stupidly long-lived.
Kind of saying from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. But yeah, we see this young blonde sneaking around named Cam. Now, you think it's Kamandi, but we'll get to that. But yeah, they're swinging around. Now, I showed the point the parademons transported away before that device went off.
Wait, what?
The parademons transported away to the prior issue. Remember, they're moving backwards in time.
Of course.
Okay, but yeah, we find out things are they're trying to figure out what's going on. We see that Clark is now naming himself Superman because they need the icon. Also, being close to the that device, to the EMP, aged him a little. Hence why he's now gray-haired.
That's Superman with Devil Superman suit. From Superman with the symbol.
Yep. Now we see the parademons show up, even larger than they were beforehand. Yep. And they're working on. They find what ends up being the Brother Eye satellite.
Oh no!
Which they end up bringing back in time, and that's what started everything in the first place. But unfortunately, being at the heart of the EMP stunted Lois and Lara's aging. So while they are 8 and they are years are going by, they're stuck as teenagers. As 14-year-olds.
That's a teenager.
You're right.
Wait. I'm confused. Okay, let me see. So
they were stuck at the middle of the EMP device. And then because of that, they're now stuck in their ages. Because something about their Kryptonian biology is because they normally can't age, or their age is slow. But for some reason, that EMP caused it to they can't grow up any further.
Okay, but you said Lois, so
okay. No. Okay, these are Superman's great grandchildren, and they are named Lois and Lara.
Oh, okay. Now I get. Yeah, but I got confused with the name.
Can I just say that guy with the visor sunglasses, he looked like Stan Lee.
A little.
He did.
Face front, don't believe this. It's the imaginary tale.
Yep. Now the parademons are ready to do an attack. We see Bruce is going to put on his old outfit again. BJ is there, but he still wants to help out behind the scenes while Bruce continues on as Batman.
So cool.
Yep. We then see Batman is trying to find this Cam, and because they need them. So they bring.
Omnis Notora says in the chat, 14-year-olds, those raging hormones. Good luck with that.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, Supergirls fight off against the Parademons, smashing them. So they decide to head back in time again.
Oh boy.
Nice.
And once they find it, we find out that Cam is a girl.
Oh,
Oh,
Instead of
Twist.
being Kamandi, it's just Cam.
What a twist.
oh, that makes sense.
And they want to
Wait, come on.
recreate Project OMAC.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and look, Wonder Woman shows up again.
He's back. With a shield.
da-da-da-da.
Yep.
I love that shield. It's so cool.
But again, a bigger group of parademons have shown up again. And meanwhile, we see the Superheroes fly in with a box. It's Stevie. She's dying from an attack.
Uh-oh.
So they're going to try and use the purple ray to healing ray to heal her. Meanwhile, Metron is trying to figure out how to get out of wherever they're trapped in. Turns out Superman, he's going to get her with Dreamer.
What?
Oh boy.
Oh, oh yeah, Lois is dead.
And now that future we saw at the end of the first mini, that's not happening yet.
Anybody hear a buzzing noise?
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Then we see Buddy Blank is a clone of the original Buddy, and he's still OMAC. And there's going to be an army of him.
Wait, did he know he's a clone?
Yes, they just said he's a clone. They said they told him he's a clone. He knows he's a clone.
Okay.
But they try to use the healing ray on Stevie. It doesn't work.
What? No.
Stevie
die?
Yep.
No.
Superman is working with the OMACs. They go into a fight, and Wonder Woman is going to join in this fight.
I don't want her dog to die. That's depressing and sad.
Yep. Now, when one of the OMACs dies, one of the buddies feels it and passes out, and then all of the buddies feel it.
Wait, how can all the buddies feel it?
Because the way the cloning was done, they ended up causing a mind link. They ended up feeling what the others felt.
Mind link.
Yep, so everything they're doing ends up falling apart. Wonder Woman shows up to fight them.
Yeah.
And because things are going to hell, the parademons transport again.
Of course, they time travel.
Now, I like this bit. Bruce, I want to thank you for having Lois and Laura bring Stephanie home. I did not know you were aware of the purple ray. Purple ray? Don't know what that is, Diana. I just figured if you saw your daughter had fallen in battle, it might inspire you to become Wonder Woman again. Wow, dick move, Bruce!
What the hell, man?
Wow.
Come on, you got help though.
But yeah, we see then we see
Wait.
Superman is still having these dreams. We see the Legion are being attacked.
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
And Brainiac 5 dies.
No.
How many deaths are happening in this series?
We'll find out. We'll find out. But we did it well. We find out about what led to Saturn Girl going back in time. We're now in the 24th century.
Duck Dodger in the 24th and a half
century.
He had to.
Yep. But yeah, Diana finds BJ, and he's dying now. But remember I told you how that stuff from Mrs. Wayne was going to be left for here? We're going to find out what that was. As it turns out... What?
We're going to find out who she is finally.
No.
No?
Nope. We never find that out.
Even after 3 series?
Yep. Again, because what he wants was when he wanted to introduce her, it would have been too late. And the other way, he didn't care for it being Selena. So it was either just keep it ambiguous and have it be whoever we want it to be. But anyway, basically, she tells him something that was important to tell them. And for some reason, something seems to be throwing BJ off a little bit. And then here's where we get the message. Hello, Bruce. Hello, BJ. You're watching this, so that means I'm dead. I wonder what that feels like. As I already have told you, there's something very important you need to know. I apologize up front for taking the coward's way of telling you, but you see, BJ isn't really your son, Bruce. Don't worry, it's not what you think.
I hope not.
What? My mind's going...
You'll find out, Tavia.
Okay.
But yeah, they go inside to the Fortress of Solitude, just looking around things. Now, I know this is a terrible shock to both of you. And I know the first question must be coming for you is who? Who is BJ's real father? Well,
Yeah.
I have left a record of that information here where I'm recording this disc. Someday I expect it will be found, and then the world will know the truth. But I have a favor to ask of you, Bruce. Right about now, I'm sure you're not in much of a mood to grant me any favors, but I want you to promise you won't race off to try and find this place. I'm sorry to do this and to do it this way, but I have my reasons. Goodbye now, and remember, I love the both of you. So she's giving them a task to do. They figure out what it is. We then see him meet up with Talia. Why? Because BJ wants to use the Lazarus pit himself so he can be younger, live a little longer, and be in much better shape to do this final mission.
That's a very bad idea. With the Lazarus pit card, you go crazy.
No. That's the other thing I should point out. After what Bruce and Rach did, the Lazarus pit was neutralized. It permanently changed it. So now he won't be driven insane.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
Now, he won't have the immortality his father has, but he will have the effects without none of the side effects.
Nice.
Oh.
But anyway, they
That's
make their
really
way
cool.
in London and they're led on a bit of a challenge, which leads to a fight. And the police seem to be attacking, and it leads into another fight soon. Hello, boys. Mom, what year is this, I wonder? Not too soon after I made this recording, I hope. But if I know you as well as I think I do, it should be Batman and Robin who are watching this message. I hope you can both forgive me for my little white lie. Well, maybe a gray one. I was just so disturbed that BJ would not use Ra's al Ghul's magic to extend his life. I didn't want any more years than the fates gave me. But of course, I want so much more for my only son. Plus, I admit, I've been feeling bad about how I stood in the way of BJ becoming Dick's Robin. Then one day, I thought of something that might solve both those problems. Something that might inspire BJ to use the Lazarus Pit and become Robin again. Of course, BJ is really your son, Bruce, but I thought if I was clever enough, I worded my message to you very carefully. I wanted to provide you with just the right loopholes. This house scanner would not have activated unless it registered both your biotraces. So, just how well do I know my boys? I think she's Selena! That sounds like Selena!
It's Catwoman.
Wow.
It has to be after
Tristan,
that.
what do you got? Tristan.
But now BJ is dying.
Definitely.
Yep. Now BJ is dying and he wants to die. Why? So he can be with Kara.
Aww.
Hello, Uncle Bruce. Or can I call you Dad? I never got the chance to do that. We weren't even sure you were alive when BJ and I got married. So yeah, the two move on to a better place. Now this is where we get a little... Twice in this mini, we see Byrne's whole notion of putting a young girl kissing an older man.
Of course. Woman after
Now, in this case, though, now, in her case, it's justified. She's stuck in this age, and yet he feels it's not right.
I see.
Yeah, I would agree with it.
Justified is it?
Yeah.
I haven't justified at all.
You were but a child. Well, I'm no child. I was born in the 21st century, more than 400 years ago. But yeah, basically, but now, though he's 50 cycles of his world, by the standards of his race, he's no more than a teenager. So he's used to the long aging stuff.
Of course.
Well, yeah, we see Lana and Clark flying around, and they meet up with Martian Manhunter.
Hey! About damn time.
It's just a cameo. We're seeing Luther again.
How is he still alive?
He's a brain in a jar.
But the brain should not. The brain can only take so much.
The liquid keeps him going.
What is he have the last?
Not that though. He was paralyzed for four centuries.
Wait, I thought Ultra Human had paralyzed for 4 centuries.
What?
I thought Ultra Human who was paralyzed.
No. Paralyzed. No. In other words, the brain was out cold for a while.
Oh.
But yeah, we then see Lois is making her way to Wayne Tower.
Of course.
Now we see Granny Goodness is there as they're bringing back Darkseid. He cheated death.
Of course he did.
Finally, I thought we were never
yeah,
getting to
Good dark side. Dark side rules.
Yep.
Yep. I'll agree with that one.
Now we find out that Lois and goes up with Bruce and finds the gold kryptonite. Why? Because it's her Kryptonian genes that are keeping her from slowly or stop aging. So she figured if she's no longer a Kryptonian, she will be able to age again.
But
Unfortunately, something goes wrong. Unfortunately, something goes wrong thanks to Lex. Things go kablooey, and radiation starts to leak, and basically, and he's dying. Unfortunately, she can't get to him now
Oh no.
Oh, great.
because she's without her powers.
Nice going, idiot.
Yep, he dies. Now we jump to the 26th century, and Superman decides they finally figure out a way to get him out of there. So he's going to leave. Turns out he and Dreamer have had kids by this point.
What?
How many? How
2.
many?
And who are
Yep.
the kids? Is it?
We'll see them. We will see them. All right, but yeah, Superman decides he breaks free and he's able to make it back to Earth. Once he gets there, Lois crashes into him and even thinks it's. Oh, sorry, that's Laura. Lois was the other sister. My bad. But yeah, Superman punches him, and then Batman punches him, and he's hitting very hard. He's been able to punch this hard for 75 years. Sadly, he somehow has the Kryptonian powers.
How?
We'll get to that. But so they think it's a fake Superman. So he reveals that your parents went willingly to their deaths, knowing that their murders could help create the Batman. I never told anyone that. Not even me. It is you. And we find out that, and this is where we fill in a few more gaps about what's going on. The parademons have already gone back in time by this point. Now we find out about they fill them in on details. We also find out when the EMP went off, even the Green Lantern ring didn't work, so Hal fell to his death.
Oh.
What the hell?
Man, he was barely in the story.
Yeah.
Very barely in the story. We knew you well.
Yep. Now we find out about the OMAC army and everything going to happen to Stevie and Wonder Woman. We have Batman and Wonder Woman got together for a short time. Didn't last. It didn't last.
It didn't last.
Damn it.
We didn't get caught up about what happened. Eventually, she left. What?
I was just clearing my throat.
Oh, sorry. We didn't find out what happened with the other Green Lantern. And then turns out Lex caused a bunch of robots, machines to go crazy. They eventually took care of Luthor once and for all. Lara did actually age, but it turns out Luthor used a bunch of kryptonite that killed off Lois and Clark.
What?
And yep, and then now Lara used the gold kryptonite cure to regain her powers, and then use one of Superman's many ways to give humans Kryptonian powers to humans. And because it never worked on an immortal, it didn't have any of the side effects. Now, of course, they asked, what about the Omax? Oh, right, they skipped that part. Eventually, because they were all linked, they had to go down to one, and then when he died, they unfortunately had to drop the whole project. Eventually, they finally did stop Lex. And things seem to finally be building up properly. And it looks like we're getting closer to the Legion's time.
Good, he's finally dead. Finally, the Mad Tyrant's over.
Yep.
Thank God.
But yeah, then they go there and they soon find Saturn Girl's body.
Happy Halloween.
Yep. Now Superman tries to go go forward in time, but it doesn't work yet. We also see Lois and Lana are heading back towards the future. They're trying to figure out what's going on, but they know there's nothing they can do to stop it. Now it says 26th century part 2. This is actually, we go to the 19th century, because it turns out when Superman tried going forward in time, he ended up bouncing back in time. Yep. And they find him again. They use a device to keep him in stasis until he could reawaken again. But yeah, he bounced back, and he meets up with Scott Free.
Scot-free. Oh, yeah, Mr. Miracle.
Mr. Miracle when he was young.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
And Metron. And they meet up with Jonathan Kent.
Huh? Wait, Pa Kent?
Yep, and Martha. But it turns out
Wait,
Johnson
wait,
is there because he wants to go after Jonah Hex because of people that Jonah had killed were some of soldiers that Johnson had fought alongside.
Wait, but how can Pug be out in the West?
Remember, Clark was already Superboy by 1919.
Oh yeah, when the 1800s.
Yeah, but yeah, we have Jonah Hex here. Basically, we're going to be there, and he's hunting down a guy named Caleb Lamb. And eventually, he has a little shootout with Jonathan, but he doesn't want to kill him. Why? Whoever I killed was near and dear to you. I killed as a soldier fighting for his country. Now I don't, and now I don't kill less than there's money involved. And Caleb shows up. The shots go off, and Martha got shot.
No,
Now, thanks to help from Metron, they get a doctor over there who can help her. But this is why Martha couldn't have children.
Oh, God.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
I pinned your link in my chat, but I gotta get going. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
It's okay, Tristan.
Yeah, don't worry. We're almost done anyway.
And and I'm gonna finish watching the rest after here in a little bit. But I wanted to make sure.
End your stream, but don't end your side because that'll chop it off sooner. Just you can leave, exit off, and it'll end when I end it.
Okay, perfect. All right, there we go.
See you, Trish. See you. Wait,
Bye,
Trish,
guys.
Before you
Have
go,
a good one,
can
Tristan.
Bye, take care.
Wait. Can you give me your thoughts on what you've been thinking about this the whole time?
I understand why you like it the most out of the Elseworlds story. I would still say it is not Injustice level of amazingness.
But
I have a bias.
But that's not an Elseworld. That's not an Elseworld, so it don't count.
Wait. How is that not an Elseworld?
It's not labeled an Elseworld.
Oh, technicalities. It's awesome, though. I really have enjoyed this.
All right. But thank you for joining, Tristan. And
no problem.
Don't worry, guys. We're almost done. We are almost done.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Yep. Don't worry. But yeah, they sent with their help, Superman eventually makes it back to the present. And this is what we find about Darkseid's plan.
Welcome to Apocalypse.
His plan is this. They create a massive army of parademons. And then they send them back in time with a means of keep going back in time. And then from that, then they're able to, but because of how it works, people going, now as far as he thinks the way it's going to work is that people going forward will never know. It's not accurate. It's not perfect. He's so crazy, he thinks it's perfect. Because the way he thinks this, they will go back, but everything coming forward won't know it happened because it haven't happened yet. Turns out it did. It's basically, in other words, he was thinking it's going to intercept and they're going to keep going back without any, but the past is not going to have any memory. Turns out it's all started when the invasion ended.
Wait, what?
This is starting to sound like
You know, the story was a nice, cool little Elseworlds story. And all of a sudden, it just went. Whoop.
This is starting to.
Basically, this is what what we know. We already know what's happening. As they're going forward, the parademons are moving back. And the army's getting larger and larger for them because it started off huge and they keep going back every time they start to lose.
So it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Exactly. Until Superman destroyed the device, and Superboy destroyed the device in the first issue. But as far as what Darkseid thought, he thought there would be no memories of that future going forward, that their meeting would not happen. That's what he thought.
That plan's why it failed, obviously. Because,
Well, yeah, that's why it fails. Now we go into...
Can I just say this whole time travel thing is starting to sound like a Doctor Who plot?
Yes! But anyway... This is where we get a bit more details about the parademons. Now, look at this. Byrne actually did some computer coloring here.
Nice.
Nice.
Like
but yeah, we see them constantly fighting off against the parademons. Yeah. And it's a big fight going on. But one of the parademons makes their way to this old blind woman. And they talk it out, and he explains about what's going on, how they were created, what their plan, what Darkseid's plan is. And also how he's cheated death. He and Orion fought to the death. And their prophecy occurred. But then and Darkseid found a way to cheat death and come back, thanks to his loyal followers.
Let me get
And
you
then,
equation.
but then we find out then the parademons were actually given sentient thoughts. They're not mindless machine, brainless.
You told me this over the phone. I remember
Yeah.
that.
But-
Wait, why would you give sentient thought? Isn't that a terrible idea?
No, it allows them to actually plan.
Oh,
Because they're not going to be around Darkseid to take orders anymore if they go back in time.
that's true.
All right. But because they and the old woman realizes if they find out the truth that that these people are sentient, Batman and Superman will hold back. So she kills them, and it's Laura. Laura killed, and no, unfortunately, this doesn't come back to bite her.
Okay.
This should come back to bite us.
It should.
Like, what the hell?
What
So as far as they think, the parademons are still mindless.
But if the thinking beings.
Yep. Now, Lois and Lana show up in the Legion's time.
Legion.
Of course.
Now,
Oh yeah, I love that image.
I love that image too, but I gotta say this. Let's just say this: Darkseid's about to pull a Ultra Humanite.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
No, another John Byrne colored.
Nice.
Nice.
That's blue.
But yeah, we
that's
see
a-
Metron heading there. They meets up with all of them now.
High five.
But yeah, they're trying to figure out where Superman is. There's his son.
Wait, you mean a lion or no?
That's Superman's son.
My third.
Yes?
This boy right here.
Wait, with like him
Okay.
and Dreamer?
Yeah,
So it's Joe Kent, right?
yeah. No, sorry. There's the kid. Sorry.
Oh, those human kid. That's
Yep. They only have they have the powers of Kryptonian and New Gods.
Wow.
Lar-El and I don't know what the sister's name is.
let me see.
No, I'm looking. They don't say
Lar-El,
anything.
Lar-El.
No, Lar-El is the guy.
Oh, right, the guy.
But anyway, Darkseid shows up. Now,
Of course.
we find out during this time, Bruce and Laura got together and had a kid who died in between times.
Oh. Wait.
So Bruce
Wait.
banged Superman's great-granddaughter.
I'm my own
That's
grandpa.
disgusting.
I'm my own grandpa.
Yep, but then we see Metron shows up. He's badly damaged and warning them about what's going on in New Genesis.
Uh-oh.
And then eventually Metron dies. The effect is
Uh-oh.
always dramatic.
Yep.
So Superman heads back and finds New Genesis has been torn apart. We then see Lar-El, that's his son, fighting him because he's blaming him for what happened. Oh, Vara is her name. Vara is his daughter's name.
Oh, Laura.
No, Vara.
Vala.
The-
My
the-
bad.
V.
I gotta name it.
Yeah, they meet up there. They meet up with Dreamer, find out about what's been going on, explain why it took him so long to get back. Oh, there's Barda.
Butter! Big butter!
Big butter.
Wait.
Yep. And then they
Dr.
go in to fight them. But then all of a sudden we see Superman transport back, but we find out why. He fights the parademons. Every one of the New Gods die one by one until he then we see Darkseid holding Dreamer. We then see Lar-El get blasted by the Omega beams. Same with Vara. And then before Darkseid can, he killed them, but Superman he sends back to Earth. But before he does, he snaps Dreamer's neck.
What?
No, he wanted me to suffer. He mimicked so closely the way Luthor, or Ultra Humanite, destroyed my first family. It's like he saw all the scars still in my mind, but he made a mistake leaving me alive. The same mistake Luthor made. For almost 1,000 years, I have fought my never-ending battle against the likes of Luthor and Darkseid, but I did it as a soldier, as a policeman, because it was the right thing to do, the just thing. Now Darkseid has made it personal.
Uh-oh.
Now we're now in the
Yeah,
29th
Darkseid.
century as we see Lana and Lois wandering around, looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. That must have been a time machine. They soon then find out about
Superman.
the Superman Museum and find he's Superman.
Lois.
Superman. But I'm getting to it. He's married to somebody named Lois Lane. Who the heck is Lois Lane? I'm Lois Lane. Superman's gonna marry me? That can't be right. Something awful must have happened to me. I've got to find out what. Slow down, Red. I bet they don't like people running around museums here any more than they did in Red. Clark is Superboy. Clark is Superboy. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. But yeah, they find out about what's happening. They find out all about what's happening, and as they're running through, they soon find out. Turns out Superman and the others are currently fighting the parademons at this moment.
Holy.
Oh no! Wait,
Oh boy! Oh boy!
She will be married during the future. That means
No. We'll get to that.
Sorry, but Lana, I knew it. I'm reminded of Fred and Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Red Herring. I knew it. I
know. But yeah, they get ready to it. Now, for a brief moment, Lois thinks that Laura looks just like her because there is a lot of similarities. The parademons have taken off, and they're showing around. They find out about the time bubble. Now, here's the thing. The helix is preventing any form of time travel from happening. Except for the bubble, because the bubble was there the moment the helix was activated.
Okay.
So, in other words, they have a means now of going further in the future to stop Darkseid. But first, they got to get them back home.
Yeah, take them back to the past.
Which they do. They take them back. They actually help heal the Saturn girl up. She still does a mind whammy. Oh, yeah, like, someone I'm sorry you never had a chance to meet. Ma, Pa? This is Lois Lane, your future daughter-in-law. I love Lois. She's like, hi.
Hi.
But now here's the icky moment.
Uh-oh.
They're going to have their mind wired. Like, I spent most of the... she finds out how she now knows how important that information is. I want a kiss, Superman. Not a peck on the cheek, a real kiss, just before you go. Lana, you're only 14 years old. Does that matter? No one here is going to call the cops on you, Superman. Clark, I've dreamed for years that you and I would be together someday, that we'd get married and have children and live happily ever after. Now I know that can never, ever be. Is one kiss too much to ask before you send me back to all of the dreams that can never come true? No. No, Lana. It isn't. Oh, yeah!
What the hell? Why?
Burn it!
God, that's icky. Ew.
Yeah, but anyway, they have Tango does the mind whammy. They put Lois back at and near the camp, and they take the time bubble and balloon. They wait for Lois and Lana of this main time to leave. That way, it's like they never left. And then with Tango's help, they make it back, and they show up just as the it occurs.
That's a lot of red too.
Yep, now we're in the 30th century, the final issue.
Yeah.
Finally.
Wait, that John Stewart? That's what they're doing the cover.
Yeah, sort of. Sort of. Anyway, they're helping out the Legion. They're getting them all, helping them out, finding the parademons. And they meet up with Jordan Kelly. He's a descendant of Hal Jordan.
So it's not John Stewart. God
no, it's not. It's not in the present day.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
But anyway, we see Wonder Woman is with them. They're fighting. She's still alive, obviously, putting up a good fight. And then Lara is dealing with the parademons, find them off as the Sky Scorcher.
Uh-oh.
They get their way out of, and then they find Lara. She took the brunt of it.
Oh.
And she dies. And it says, remember what we had together.
Wait, but does she tell Batman she went the truth?
No.
Oh.
They never know.
It dies with her.
They still don't know. Even
yeah. And she dies at the age of 889. 89.
Holy.
989 years old?
That's how old she was. 2014 to 23 or 25, whichever.
2999.
But yeah, they're going to attack Darkseid. They're going in for a big fight. This is it for all the moles.
Get him.
Yep.
We see Batman fighting.
Let's do this.
We see Batman fighting Granny Goodness. She kills him.
What? How?
Excuse
with
you?
a big blaster, but the attack sliced through one of the main plasma conduits, causing it basically seems they're going to start to fall apart. You then have what's his name?
Byrne
Kanto.
Kanto. Yeah,
He
Kanto.
poisoned Wonder Woman.
What? No.
And we see
Whoa!
Green Lantern. He's banged up from fighting the parademons, and he dies with Wonder Woman. Superman finally shows up, grabs Desaad and flings him in the path of the Omega beams. He and Darkseid start fighting. Without him, the chain reaction from what Granny did is causing everything to blow up. Like, Superman, you fool. Desaad was the only one who had a hope of containing the chain reaction. Don't get it, do you, Darkseid? That doesn't matter. All the rules have changed. Nothing matters except that your menace ends here, and it ends forever.
Come on.
And because of that, everything's undone.
Oh!
Now we see the 29-25 we saw before at the end of the first mini. They meet up.
Wait. Before you continue, somebody in the comments again. It's again 007 Angela. Soups and bats smash more than the Hulk in this story.
But yeah, we then see them show up for a moment, and Superman show like, I'm not sure, Bruce. I have the strangest feeling something just slipped my mind. I hope it wasn't anything important. And that's the end of everything.
Wow!
What?
Did Batman's mask just like form around his head?
Yeah, that's what we saw that before. We saw that at the end of the first mini.
That's kind of.
Okay.
Batman is a member of the MCU
I know
confirmed.
he's a
That reminds me of the symbiote.
So, what did you all think?
That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But what would you say was your favorite of the three minis?
My favorite 3 minutes had to be,
I don't know. That was all freaking wild.
When did Hooded leave?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Oh, where'd he go?
Yeah, where did he go?
Yeah, but anyway, I would say the first one was the strongest.
I agree.
The first one.
I mean, yeah, it's something that naturally has a lot tighter of a premise and it's a lot easier to follow.
And I think I enjoy the first two as a complete piece. In fact, I wouldn't mind breaking apart that omnibus and putting it back together in the chronological order.
I agree.
The third
Yeah,
mini.
that would have made it a lot easier to follow because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening, but I was trying to do the internal calculus of like, oh, wait, we're here in the timeline, now we're here, and that kind of detracted from me really following it all that
I
way.
felt so confused. Joey,
it's
everything falls apart. Because
it's like Memento or one of those episodes of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, that you got to mash together. Or it's like Kill Bill 1 and 2. You got to watch both.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's like the scene in It's Always Sunny where you need the thing in the background just to point to this and then point to that.
But you see why it is my favorite?
I guess it was.
There's definitely a lot of substance
Then
there.
if you're a madman.
Might like it.
Great writing on here. Very good artwork. Although I think the third one is the weakest artwork.
The third one is the weakest, and it's like the icky moment with Lana and Superman, which
kissing. What was up was at least with Laura and the that Green Lantern, it made sense. She was stuck in that age.
Yeah, at least that made sense. But for Superman,
I mean, I get
No.
I get it, but I don't want it. It's one of those.
I don't
things
want
like,
either. I just.
But
really still come after us. I'm too young.
Yeah, but still though, I just gotta say, the moment that still always opened my eyes. I mean, my favorite moment has to be, of course, the Wayne secret.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was probably like one of the strongest parts of the whole thing.
Different take on the mythos.
Yeah, but also though, Luther or Ultra Humanite's master plan was ingenious and insidious.
Yeah, oh my god.
All human family. He killed basically Superman's daughter, his wife,
his son, and then later on his friends.
Like Jesus.
Jesus Christ, Lex Luthor ran a criminal, but Ultra Humanite is much worse in this series. He's a monster.
Yeah, but now granted, don't sell Luther short. Look what he did in 3.
Oh yeah, 3. He killed everybody.
Yep. Now let's go one at a time. Each one of you give your thoughts. Raymond, you first. We'll give your entire thoughts on this series. Each one, artwork and story, and tell everyone what you thought.
The artwork was freaking great, man. I enjoyed how retro it all looked by comparison to today's comics.
Oh,
Story, I don't know. Was I high? I don't know what happened.
Pass them around.
Possibly.
Yeah, that I just feel like I just came back from a fucking trip.
So how much we went over?
Yeah, you gotta really. We should have slowed down and read it more, but that
Yeah,
would
we
have
should
taken
slow
too
down
long.
on this one.
Yeah,
Holy
unfortunately. I mean, look at how long it took to do it this way.
Yeah.
Now
no.
we did 18 minutes.
We should have
If
done
I
this in
read more of it,
longer.
we'd be here forever.
Yeah,
But,
we'd be here till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
get all
but anyway,
dissertation on it.
but favorite moments, favorite characters, what would you say?
I would probably just say, probably BJ is as ridiculous as his name is. I really liked his character.
Yeah. He usually got a happy ending.
Yeah, he was out of everyone, he probably had the happiest of all the endings. I mean, the story, everyone just kept getting shafted.
Well, technically, Bruce, Clark, and Lana got a happy ending in the original.
That's kind of cool too, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, could you guys just stop dying?
Well, to be fair, none of that happened now.
Nothing happened now. It all got erased.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Hit the retcon button.
Yeah, exactly. It's a complete reset. Which means this entire mini was completely pointless.
Oh, that's all kinds of fun.
No, it's like across the second dimension with Phineas and Ferb. We went through the best adventure ever, but without we got a memory wipe, otherwise you don't keep the platypus. Bye.
Right, but right, but yeah. So, what would you give this on a 1 to 10? The entire trilogy.
The entire trilogy, probably 7, maybe 8 if I was super high.
Let me guess. The third one, it's because of the third one that hurts it, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the introduction of like Darkseid and everything like that. I thought he was, especially his like character design. I love how he looked back.
Yeah, Byrne does great with Darkseid.
I love
Darkseid design.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid 7 for me. 8 if I'm super stoned.
Okay, better question. What would you give the first two without the third one?
Solid 8.
All
without
right.
being stoned.
All right. Now, Tavia, you're next.
Yeah.
Thoughts on our story, artwork, favorite character, favorite moments, any of that?
My favorite, I thought all remembered amazing. I loved it all everything, all the series. Well, during the all, I will be the weakest, but always still amazing. But in this book, you can still do all the detail meeting. And all I love the art with John Byrne. I think John would do all this. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do all this.
Yeah.
All meaning, it's like able to animate. Story-wise, okay. Definitely the one I made the stronger one of already because it felt like a contained story, but I did a pause on my ear because it was my Spider Life story. And on Spider Life story, generally the one had a happy ending. Generation 2, everybody keeps dying, and that's when everybody goes, wait, what? Why did it get dark? This isn't the story one. I don't really die cynical. Wait,
True.
Dying, what? The rating died? Huh? Wait, what's happening? Well, it's still what it gets.
What's happening?
Generation 3. This is where everything falls apart for me. Because, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Stop. Wait.
Yeah, all right.
My
Favorite character?
my favorite character I've already done it was, I think, besides Superman, Batman, obviously, favorite character had to be Superman, Batman, but also made Bruce Jr., because Bruce Jr. was had a happy ending.
Yeah, Bruce
I
Jr.
know it's Supergirl, Laura, who
Laura?
got killed her with that.
Yeah. So much wasted potential was her.
It's definitely a potential because I love when Joel and Supergirl make up because in a way he kind of reminded me of kind of John sort of. Okay, not a John. But
yeah, but John. But I get what happens, especially when you have Luther Humanite manipulating him.
Yeah, that's true. They manipulate him. But it kind of reminded me of Supergirl show. Today with a good show by a little show. It kind of reminded me of that show. But I like the two boys, these two children, kill each other.
Right.
Kind of
all right.
sad to play with them. But other than that,
One to 10 rating. 1 to 10 rating.
Oh, I ain't gonna put in my pots. But only 3 concern. It's been ending already competing. But I feel like winning. If I go in all the other, I think Germany 1 is the strongest. I give that one 10 out of 10. Germany 2, yeah, 8 out of 10. Germany 3, that's the weakest. I gotta get a 6 out of 10 on that one. But
Yeah, I agree. There's some good moments, but it's just the century-long gap. I'll get to it on my thoughts.
Yeah.
Ingrid, same questions.
I would say I'd give it an 8 out of 10 overall, and I feel like one thing that's not been said enough is just how magnificent of a bastards the villains are.
Yes!
Overarching this whole thing. They're the most consistent presence throughout the whole thing.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
But what would you say is your favorite character and all that?
I'm gonna have to go with Darkseid on this one. Maybe that's a bit more of an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I feel like we have to give the villains some credit in this one.
Yeah.
Brilliant plan. A brilliant plan. Even though it didn't go exactly the way he wanted, it was still a great plan.
He's still
and I feel like that was the through line that was just easiest to follow. Is just, ooh, what's this bastard going to do next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So, any other thoughts you want to give?
I think I'm still coming down from all of that.
Okay. Ian, you're next.
Well, this definitely doesn't have the problem that a lot of Elseworlds have, which is it's too short.
Yeah.
It's too cosmic and too future for me. I really don't enjoy either of those parts of the DC universe, which is why I'm a boring Batman fan.
Now, that mostly applies to the third one. What about the first two?
I found a lot of the ideas in the first two really interesting. I did like a lot of the ideas that were developed about the characters and their relationships with each other. And I really liked the bit where Lois Lane had that great 1920s hat. I wish that had been more of it, because like that's more my speed of like I don't know. I just like.
What do you think about, since you're the big Batman fan I mean, we're all Batman fans, but you're one that's actually works with the Batman side and all that. What would you say about how Batman was handled throughout all of this?
I mean, he's not bad. It's from such a different era of Batman that it's a little difficult for me to make a lot of comparison. Like, I kind of draw my line on Batman with Frank Miller.
But that was more BJ. BJ was more the Frank Miller Batman.
BJ was way too like family oriented to actually be a Frank Miller Batman, though.
That's true. He's not
but at the same time,
he actually cared about his wife. Like Frank Miller Batman would be like, "I have no wife."
True. Well, Teddy, would you counted his wife when she died right on the wedding day?
I mean, that's like Tom King level stuff.
That ain't Tom King.
Oh wow! Damn, dude.
I think I met Tom King.
Well, at least he had his other wife.
That's true.
Melee.
Yep.
Okay, Alex. You know what? Before we go in, favorite character and what would you give a rating?
Lois Lane with the hat. Favorite character.
You're not going to let that hat out.
That hat was awesome. And I think a rating, I'd give it like a 7.5.
All right. Alex, your turn.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the first one. Definitely sort of seeing into this alternate world where Superman and Batman kind of like aged along with like the age of the comic book eras, which I thought was a really interesting concept. And I like the second one too, where at least by the end they kind of got sort of a happy ending out of it. But then I think it just got like went way off the deep end. We're like, oh, this is really cool. Then you just kind of almost just turn into another kind of typical, crazy, out of this world.
The third one, The only thing good about the third one was finding out what Mrs. Wayne told him.
That part, right? I like that part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what would you say is your favorite character?
I definitely enjoyed the Ultra Humanite. He was such a bastard.
Yeah.
And I liked Kara too.
Same.
MBJ.
Yeah. Okay, Eric, your turn.
The artwork was nice throughout most of it. That I definitely like the use of color and all that. Take that in the sort of retro style. That's all throughout the whole thing. Things that sort of jumping through the decades. I've always said I do love comics that actually kind of break the whole status quo, and actually do it in real time to see where everybody changes as time goes on, and what might happen in the future and all that. Like that the story, like, I agree with everyone else. It's one of those trilogies where the first two are nice, the first one being probably the strongest, but the third kind of goes off the rails. It's a little. It's just like one big story that should have been, I don't know, condensed into maybe.
A decade is one thing. 100 years is another.
I've been running into this problem because I've been trying to imagine like something that's like 100 years or over 100 years after our original campaign ended, and the world building homework that ends up assigning to you just to even make enough of a plot make sense is hard, even just on that time frame. And then to do it multiple times, dear Lord, how long did it take them to figure all of that out? I'm not sure whether to be impressed by them or to be concerned for their mental health. Are you okay?
but that's the one downside with it, though. It doesn't feel like hundreds of years that passed between some issues. It did. Others, it felt like only decades passed.
Because it feels like it's still in the future.
The Green Lantern confused me because I find out John Stewart, but not John Stewart, and that could disappoint me because I want John Stewart, but no.
I would have cut it in half. Like instead of 12, it would have been 6. That's my song.
Yeah, but when they did a century.
Yeah, like get to the 30th already. It's like Tom Petty used to say that don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Right, and did you notice that I breezed through that third one?
Yeah,
that was the fastest because there's not much going on.
Yeah, not that.
It's fight, convoluted plot, fight.
Yeah, now I would say I will also say that, and now I gotta say, favorite character.
My favorite characters were BJ and Laura, I think.
Laura or Kara?
Laura or Kara. Which Supergirl did we see with the
blonde hair or black hair?
The black hair, I think.
Oh, that was Laura. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I liked her, and I felt so bad for her.
But I liked Kara, but I did like Kara too.
I like Kara more. Kara didn't kill sentient being.
Yeah, that's where things go too far.
That's why I got pissed off because. What?
Yeah, because she didn't get called out or anything. It's like,
oh right, yeah.
Oh no, what the hell? Like,
yeah, but that's what you get when you do it. When you only have a few other issues left, and you have too much to pile on it.
Yeah, do they pile stuff on
it? I think it was because Byrne realized we need to set. I set up these parademons already. They've already been shown that they're smart. I need the heroes to find out about the bad guys. But I can't have them find out that these parademons are smart, otherwise they will hold back. So he had to do that. Like, okay, she kills them to keep the secret.
Even though that's still.
I mean, I give him credit for doing that. Maybe but I understand why you guys are disappointed.
Yep. Now let me ask you all this. Last question for all of you.
I didn't.
Oh, right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
the whole story, I agree with everybody else. The villain plots were like, wow.
Yeah. Some of the best.
I wanted to strangle those guys every time they did something. Every time they killed another person.
Hamid, it's Laura that got away with murder, not Kara.
Laura got it.
Yeah. Well,
now, question for all of you.
Overall, my number rating, please. I give the first two a 9 altogether, gets a notch down at 8.5 altogether.
That works.
Yes.
Now, question for all of you.
And I can see why this is your favorite Elseworld. That Thomas and Martha cuts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That cuts like a knife, man.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Now, question for all of you. The squickiness. Laura and the Green Lantern and Superman and Lana. What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? And Byrne is the one who also gave us Colossus and Kitty.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
Oh yeah.
That.
What is up with Byrne and little girls kissing older men?
They should all burn the comics to the ground.
His last name is Byrne.
Yeah,
Robert,
they're all
didn't you have a
fitting.
bad
Wow. I
1950s
think it's a
science
lot worse in
fiction?
this case than with Colossus and Kitty. Let's be fair.
Sure, yeah, Claudia and Kitty, but that's because Claremont gave good characterization, and at least they didn't full on kiss on the lips. It was just a cute thing that eventually built up once they were older.
Well, they
Yeah,
kissed.
that
They
makes
kissed on.
sense.
No, wait. They kissed on the lips in the Claremont run at least once.
Was it
That's
a
true,
mistletoe
yeah.
thing?
Excuse me.
Was it a mistletoe thing?
No, it wasn't during Christmas or anything. They just did. Remember, Kitty's Jewish as well, so.
Oh yeah.
Look, I remember reading an article. I think it was on CBR or something. Not something. I don't remember where, or maybe it was an X-Men blog. Looking back on the entire Claremont run. Run, you guys, more power to you. But they basically looked back at their relationship. I think this was just before the psych out marriage issue that happened a couple
That
years ago.
infuriated me.
Yeah, that infuriated me too, but in retrospect. But
Yeah.
what was I saying? At least Gambit and Rogue got together.
Oh yeah.
But leading up to it, it looked back on their whole relationship. Looking back, they said as long as they didn't do it in bed, it was innocent enough. It was chastity enough. One little kiss doesn't make a difference, even though it's like what 6 years. I think.
Yeah, but the way it was done here, though.
Yeah, no, the way it was done here was like.
Yeah, no.
The one done here.
Like when, I felt like I was.
Disgusting.
I felt like that. I understand why Lana did it, and it fits the Silver Age Lana. But like, if I was Superman, I would say like not on the lips, on the forehead, but it's.
Or have Saturn Girl trick her.
Yeah, we got what makes sense.
You got a telepath there.
That's true. Why didn't you think of that before?
I mean, again, Byrne set it up for that. And again, I get it. Lana feels like, cause as far as this timeline's going, that future we saw at the end of the first generation wasn't going to happen. So as far as she thinks, I'm never going to get with him.
Yeah, it's a different timeline.
But now the stuff with Laura and the Green Lantern, perfectly justifiable. Makes complete sense. She's only stuck in a 14-year-old body.
Right.
That confused me.
It's still not necessary for Byrne to do that.
No, it's not.
It's confusing.
That's why Lauren. That's a 50-50.
I guess you were trying to justify it.
True. I'm saying between the two of them, if I had to pick one that was less squeaky, it was her and the Green Lantern.
Right.
I think I have a higher threshold on you guys, but before I look at
if I had to pick my poison in a sec, I would go with the
Lana or Laura?
I would go with the Laura Luen stuff because that sort of makes sense in a weird way.
Yeah, it did. It made a weird way, and it gave her a reason to use the gold kryptonite on herself.
That's true, yeah. But
right, that did lead into something. I'll give it props because it did lead into another part of the story.
And eventually, she got. At least she aged well enough for when she and Bruce got together.
Right.
Even though that's still Superman's granddaughter.
I would say if there's one person who got the shaft right, it's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman did get the shaft.
Where was she?
Marie was the
best. The story.
Yeah, I mean, she was there at the beginning, but we hardly saw her in action until Generation 3, because we see her ready to go to war, and then she's pregnant, and then she's no longer being a hero because of Steve's death. But we saw it more from Stevie than we did from Diana.
Yeah, I love Wonder Woman and her daughter. I've been saying that for years. That should have in main continuity.
I get
that. When she retires, that annoyed me because, come on.
No, I get it. She doesn't have Steve. She's a single mom, and she feels devastated. But that meant she was only active for 10 years.
We're going across centuries here. Certainly, she would have done at least a little bit more at that time.
Yeah, so that means she left when Stevie became Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm packing my bags and done. Here you go.
Daughter.
Yep. I mean, technically, she was active for less than 11 years because she was pregnant for 9 of those months.
That's true.
But yeah, overall though, I thank you guys for joining me for all this. Thank you everyone for sticking around. this. I've been wanting to do this forever. It was either this or Just Imagine Stan Lee. I'll get to that when we get to December. Who knows? I might be at 125 by then at this rate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love your part of it. Does it imagine you about the things that I'm trying to cover? Not cover my channel. I'm trying to read some of it. It's very weird, but very interesting. And
But yeah, but overall, though,
coming back. That thing coming back. Firestorm in I think this year. Yeah, coming this year. So I do
yeah, but anyway, but yeah, thank you all for joining me for this, and I'm glad we were able to talk about it all. Well, wait, I just realized we didn't talk about and one last thing about the Batman Captain America thing.
yeah,
About how all that fit into it.
That was kind of fun. That was
fun.
It was just like a fun. I think because everything else that we experienced tonight was just so batshit crazy. But
I know. It's not prequel.
So we're like, oh yeah, we ran out of comic before that.
No, it's like the short cartoon before the big movie.
But this is good with a short tied into the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's such a fun story.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And I like how they actually acknowledge by having the Joker say that he was a guest of the Third Reich. I guess he survived the nuke, and then the Germany sent him to Russia.
Right.
Yeah, and the fact that Joker goes like, I need to homicide maniac, but an American homicide.
Yeah, I know. That's a great moment. All right.
Joker's not that crazy.
Yep. So everyone, thank you all again, and we'll see you all on the next lesson, which I already have recorded. That one is going to be Superman, the Last Family of Krypton. We'll see you all on that one.
Oh boy.
Bye bye.